Your calls, your stories, on air. You're listening to the Love Stream.
Sharing the love,
station is now
spreading
the
the
ultimate
light.
power in the universe.
Sharing the love, spreading the light in real time. Friday Night Love Stream.
Very happy to have a guy we instantly resonated with. Unbiased and on the fence. I'm talking about Shane C. Robinson. And his purpose is to rise above the worldviews that are designed to separate us so we can unite as one.
Sometimes you have to sort of take a step back, and I think Unbiased and on the Fence is a really, really good title for your show, because you are in the central point when you're unbiased and on the fence. That's what it means. It doesn't mean you're indecisive. It means you are taking the central point and you're seeing the multiple perspectives.
Unbiased and on the fence.
If you haven't checked Unbiased on the Fence, go and check his channel out. You might like it.
This is Dan Holfeld from Talk is Cheap, and you're listening to Unbiased and on the Fence with Shane Robinson.
If this much sincerity enters your life, come to this much. What I know, I know. What I do not know, I do not know. I don't believe anything, I don't disbelieve anything. I'm willing to look at everything. You will become a sensible human being.
Have you checked out our website?
Visit us on the web at uotf.net. You're listening to The Love Stream.
All around the world in real time.
This is Shane with Unbiased and On the Fence. You're listening to the Friday Night Love Stream.
Your calls, your stories, on air. You're listening to the Love Stream.
Sharing the love and spreading the light all around the world. This is Unbiased and On the Fence.
Unbiased and on the fence.
Indeed it is. Sorry, I didn't mean to psych you guys out with April Lunsford's name up there, but we've actually got Carrie Dowding on tonight. What is up, Carrie? It's good to have you back, man.
What's going on, brother? What's going on, man?
What do you think of these energies?
Oh, man. Incredible. Like, yeah, that's what we're going to dive into and play with today a little bit. And
yeah,
more,
man.
much more.
I'm really looking forward to this update because, man, I could tell the excitement and stuff, and, you know, I need that excitement in my life, I know. So I'm going to love hearing this. I love the energy you always bring. So, yeah, man. What's been going on? We get right into it.
Well, hey, I'll tell you what. Let's put it out there right off the bat what's happening, why we're late to the show.
Oh, right, yeah.
You sent me the information to call in, and I got the number, and I called it, and it's not working. I'm like, oh, what are we doing? And of course, I step back, and I'm asking my inner being. I ask my higher self. I talk to it all the time, like, what's going on? And of course, I already feel like I'll know the answer, and it's like, your frequency is through the roof. And you're not getting your phone calls out. You got to find another way. Get a different number. And then thank God you had another number. And it worked out. So good thing.
Yeah, we had our
backup
plan.
It's always happened. It's always happened on every interview I have been on. I've been kicked off. It was the first time when we got back from Sedona, and you, me, Lauren, Teresa, and Allison and Dan, we did your show. It kicked me out, and it blocked me out for 2 hours. And then what was it? The show after that, it kicked me out of that, and then there's this one. So it's good times. I guess it's working. So
the other one was on with Dan, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I had to keep calling back in, and I had to call back in like 2 or 3 times. It was weird.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that interview. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been wild, man. So let's just get right into it, man.
Keep that number handy, man. If something happens, just call it right back until you get through. We've got multiple options. If that doesn't work out, you call my personal phone, and I will put it on speaker here or something. So nothing can stop us. We're determined.
That's right. Hey, yeah, that's right. Love always wins, right? Always
right.
wins. So here we go. So I guess we all know we've been really, really, truly experiencing different stuff going on. You know, there for a while we really felt really good. We were all like, man, this energy is awesome, man. We're just in this vortex, or in just a high vibe mood, and all these really crazy synchronicities start happening. And we loved that, and we loved it, and it was awesome. And then, of course, we had what everybody knows, there's like a collective wide purge, and all of us who play with it and dance with the light and love, we were like, hey, yeah, we're in this high vibe. We can take that on. We'll take it on. So we did, and we all are either crying or going through something in some sort of fashion. It just shook up. It feels like it shook up your whole world. And some people did. Maybe it's not as intense for some people. Maybe it's a little more subtle for some. But we all know we're feeling something a little different. And for myself, it was incredible. Like, I had this really high vibe thing, and I was in this frequency and stuff for like just months. And then something happened, and it shook it up. It really shook it up. But the way I've learned how to get through that, and as I was getting through it, how nasty, how yucky and crap I felt, I knew that if it's in me, then it's for me to release. I've got to get this out somehow. But how do you do that? A lot of people don't know how. And it's not so much everybody's into, knowing how to ground, right, or praying, meditating, whatever. For me, I was on the side of a mountain helping a guy get some wood, and I would call in my guides and my higher self, and I would just like go through like books or audio books to find something that would resonate. Yeah. And sure enough, something would come up, and I would start listening to it. And it was Matt Kahn, Whatever Arises, love that. And it
I love Matt Kahn stuff.
It just started launching me. It was boom, boom, boom. It was just one thing was just releasing after another. I get that. I get that. I get it. And
man, that guy really has he's got a lot of stuff figured out, or I guess he's channeling. That guy's got
what he's got nailed down in the line is he has aligned not only his divine masculine, but he also has aligned his divine feminine within him, because we have both of them. And when you do that, oh man, you're gonna just be in this love.
I always resonate with whatever he's saying. I always resonate with it. I'm like, yeah, that's
incredible.
That's good,
incredible stuff. And that's what a lot of the stuff. It just ends up making it easier for one to go through, because we're just trying to figure it out. And the worst part is our ego is constantly questioning. Well, I don't know, and sometimes it may not be your energy, and you're just like, well, I felt amazing, but now I feel like crap. What's the deal? Why is that happening? And a lot of that is somebody else's energy that you're taking on. Mm-hmm. And when you do that, you can't figure out what's yours and what's not yours, and you're just in this spiral, and you don't know, and nothing's working out. You still feel like you're there, but it just seems a little off. And I noticed through all of this, like I kept having this this lower back thing going on, and I never hurt my lower back. I couldn't figure it out, and I didn't know how to heal it. I was really stretching. I started stretching more. Started doing like yoga. I can now like have my knuckles touching the ground. I started working out harder. I dropped another 35 pounds, bro, since the last time you see me.
Oh wow.
Yeah, dude. Doing fast. Drinking, probably 2 to 3 gallons of distilled water a day. And I make sure every time I pour the water out of the plastic jug and I pour it in this glass container that has the flower of life symbol on it. And for some reason, when I do that, when I pour it into that jug, I talk to the water. I love it. I tell it how much, how awesome you are and how we're so grateful for you. Pour it in that jug, and I start drinking the crap out of that, and it's incredible. And over time,
it works,
I started noticing it works. It works. It cannot not work. You're talking to these beautiful energies. It's amazing.
Well, I mean, they even got the rice experiment and all that stuff. I mean, it's scientifically proven that you're affecting those water molecules when you inject love into them. positive intention. So yeah, I'd say anybody drink it up, man. Whatever you're wanting to do, put that intention in it and drink it up.
Yeah, and for some reason it tastes that much better. It does. It really does.
Yeah.
So
I infuse mine with love
that.
and light. I keep it simple, but still it's the same kind of thing.
Oh, I talk to it like I give it like a real good, pep talk, and like I just talk to it like let's become, let your energy and mine become one and crystalline my DNA and my body together as one, and it just, and what was really cool about it, I wasn't even paying attention that, man, I started losing all this weight. I had to buy, even recently, I had to buy more clothes. And I'm like, oh, man, what am I doing? But I wasn't paying attention. I didn't get rid of that pain in the back. Yeah. I was thinking I was doing all the right things. I kept doing and doing and doing and doing, and just nothing would work. And I finally I had it. I felt something in me. Something was in my stomach, and I was just like tightened. And it was so tight one morning. And it was the day I decided to do a magic mushroom journey. I did this last Sunday. And that morning,
wow, I just looked up and saw 11:11 on the elapsed time. That was fun.
You like this? I'm telling you, brother. Get ready. So, and as I was getting my intention set, because that's, with mushrooms, it's a plant, it's a magic plant, but it's also it's a higher dimensional plant. It's like psychedelic. You want to go into it, respect, and you also want to do like some type of offering. So I had tobacco, or I had cannabis actually, and I went out to my garden and I sprinkled it all over the ground and gave it out and gave a sacrifice, or not a sacrifice, an offering back, because you're going to exchange energies, their energy for something that you're getting. You're exchanging energy, so there's a balance there.
Right.
And I jumped into it, and it was cool because it was mushrooms that were blended up into chocolate hearts. And the guy who gave it to me is like, a chocolate heart to open your heart. It was funny. So I took this thing, and I took a little nibble. He said, you might want to go just a little bit. These things, it's pretty powerful. And he's like, only half of one will just, I'm gone. I'm like, okay, well, I'm kind of a bigger guy, and I've played with THC and stuff before, but I was like, maybe I'll do a third bite instead of a little nibble. So I did a third, and I kind of started feeling it after 45 minutes. I was like, if this is this on this level, I'm going to go up even more. So I took another third bite, and then I felt real good, real euphoric, really balanced, really just flowing with it. And I was like, well, if it's at this level, I'm going to do it all. And I took the whole thing. And then it was over from there. I was in the present moment, and it was no matter what step I took, every step I took, I would feel the love come up into my legs from the ground. Every plant I found, every weed and every grass blade, I stood out in the yard, and I looked at the mountains, and I was watching the sunset, and I could not stop crying. It was so beautiful, the clouds, everything. And I've done that without psychedelics, but this was different. It was so, you were just being the energy and just being in the true present moment and just walking around. You weren't getting distracted by anything like car noises, any kind of fighting or your cell phone. It was just, boom, it was there. And it was love. It was just pure love. I mean, no, you didn't need anything. You were so fulfilled. So I'm flowing through this, and the sun sets, and I go in and I start meditating. And I dive into a good one, man. And I wanted to make contact. And I figured, man, if I'm on psychedelics, I know I can walk out and see if my galactic family's out there. And I'll go out there. I mean, and then a second, boom. It was so easy to make contact, and I could feel that. So I went back inside, and I just played around with whatever I was feeling and just went with it. Then all of a sudden, my stomach started hurting, and I started throwing up. And anybody who tells you, they say, once you start hitting that in a psychedelic mushroom journey, you might as well just embrace it and just go through it.
Right.
And I refused to take that as like, well, if it's happening, it's there to tell you something too. So my stomach was empty, my back started hurting, my stomach started hurting. So something told me, sit with it. And I sat down and I put my left hand over my solar plexus chakra. And I believe that's the power and creativity. Mm-hmm. And I put my right hand over it and I just started talking to it. I could see it glowing and I was just like, what is it that you need? What do you need? And then all of a sudden I just started crying. But it felt really good. It was
like a purging crying.
Yeah. And it was coming out. It was just boom. And then all of a sudden, I didn't know why, but my left hand went down to like where my root chakra is, and I wasn't even thinking about that, but it did. And then I just started crying even more. And as it was coming out, and I just released it, I was like, "What is that?" And it was. I took on a lot of people's negative energy when I was going through this, once the whole thing flipped on me, like I went from vortex to it felt like I hit rock bottom again or whatever, just trying to figure out what was going on. I wanted to be around people so bad because I felt so crappy. I didn't want to be sitting in the house. I could not sit and be alone. For some reason, I didn't want to be alone. I didn't want to talk to anybody. Or not talking, I didn't want to stay at home and watch anything. I was freaking out, so I always had to talk to somebody. I had to be doing something again. I'm constantly trying to find something to do. And then I started getting, everything started getting harder, and that's when my back started hurting. And the energy that I was around people who aren't what you would say aware of their own experience, and there's a drama. These are my friends that are close to you in town, and they really have, they come home from work, they're snapping on their kids and they're cussing and blah, 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 blah. And you're just like, yeah, it's time for me to go. And then something kept building up inside of me. And it was like, I can't be around this anymore. And it's not because of them. You don't want to not be around them. You just, something doesn't feel right anymore. Again, it's just gotten heavier and heavier. And I guess I took on that energy without realizing it and trying to protect myself or clearing my own energy and stuff like that. And I took that on, and I didn't realize it wasn't mine, but I was holding on to it. And it was messing with me, man. It really was. And I couldn't figure out for the life of me how that happened and why all this is happening. And that's what I asked. I kept asking, why is this happening? Why is it happening this way? And then, poof, it just hit me and it flooded over me. It was, for me, like this little dark night of the soul, if you want to call it, whatever you want to call it. Just as soon as things were going really good, it just shifted. Something really important and loving kind of went out of my life for a little while. Not really, but it's there, and but it was gone, and it felt yucky, and I missed it, and I still love it, and I was just, I guess maybe I was trying to find how I can come back, and then that's what it was. It just washed out of me. I healed and cleared codependency, dude. You're talking about something that I've held on to for years, man, all my life, of my life. And that was a big one. I was on the ground crying, man. I mean, hands and knees, just crying this out because, to think that somebody else can have control over me is absurd. And it hurt. And it did not feel good. And why somebody's actions aren't relating to what I feel, why I feel this love, but this person is being mean to me, and these people just don't understand what's going on with me. And then it would just start coming back, and it comes back to your heart. And when you start talking to them like they just don't understand, then you start showing this gratitude and love to those people. And maybe it's just you sitting with it and visualizing it or whatever. But you start noticing a shift that you used to feel like they hurt you. And then it goes into, now I know why, and I get it, and I love you, and I thank you, and may all your hearts and desires come true, right? You bless them, and it's gone. Whoosh, it's it. You heal that codependency and yourself. But then as you're going through your healing and you're constantly still doing stuff, you realize the easier it gets. You go from moving mountains to moving pebbles. What used to be a mountain is now a pebble, and you're knocking them out 2 or 3 times a day, and it can get very, very energetically draining. And that's what's happening. What I felt the collective was going through. So many of my friends were like, I don't know what's going on. My back hurts. I'm out. I don't. And then it comes back. Here's what the coolest thing was. Everybody that was in my circle, we all had this moment. We're like, we need self-care. You know, we're taking a few days of self-care. We've got to focus on self. I just spent 4 days in my home, and I haven't done this in a long time. 4 days in my home without going anywhere. TV's off. The TV has been off 4 days straight. And I turned on music, and I started playing my guitar, and I visualized singing to somebody that I love. And then I'll go out and I'll sing to the trees, and I'll go out and sing to my galactic family, and I'll just play for me or play for my grandma. And I just will play and visualize doing something really exciting, like playing for an audience. Even though I may not actually have an audience, it would feel like I'm there playing for them.
Right.
So I just kept going with that and going with that and going with that. And something just, something happened. It shifted. I had a radical shift the next night. I went into it, like I was in a meditation like 2 a.m. for some reason. I had so much energy, and I could feel something was happening. I started feeling that vortex again that I felt before, like when we were in Sedona, and a few months after that. It was about January when that whole vortex stuff ended. January, yeah, about January. Well, mid-December, January. So I had, for the last 4 months, been in this, like, trying to figure out all these pains and all this, like, crap going through me, these negative energies. Why? Because I was in this vortex. I was in this super high vibe. I don't understand. I thought that when you hit heaven, or, you know, heaven on earth, and you're in there, that's where you're going to be. But there's still stuff in there, and you're purging for the collective, and you're helping people who you care about, and you're taking on that type of energy, too, and you got to remember that. And the biggest part that came to me was that we no longer, as a collective, have to feel like we have to do something to get to where we're going. The biggest misconception that I've come to know along my own journey, oh, you've got to do this, you've got to take action, you've got to take action. To manifest, you've got to take action. You got to do this, you got to do that. Well, I kept feeling through my own journey, I'm like, there's got to be, as I was going through my dark night of the self, there's got to be an easier way. This feels like everything through in our community, which I love our spiritual brothers and sisters, all of us are one, but those who, that we call ourselves light workers or light warriors or whatever, Starseeds, what ends up happening is we end up focusing on so much of the doing, and we are Starseeds, we are light workers, we do this, we do that, and we put light into the dark, and we fight for, freedom, and it's like there's an imbalance still within you, because now you're starting to, if you're trying to get to what you are, oneness with all that you are, the universe, if you're trying to experience oneness, you cannot experience it if you're going to deny something you don't like. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So if we sit there and sit back and say, we're the light, they're the dark, it's us versus them, poof, you just put up a block in front of you to allow all of you. Now, a lot of people might think, oh, the darkness, it's dark, it's evil, it's nasty. I'm not okay with that. That's okay. If you don't have to be okay with the negative polarity, but the biggest part about the negative polarity, you and everybody going on their journey knows that if it wasn't for the negative polarity, you would not be where you are now. It's just wouldn't make it. You would just be blissed out all the time. You wouldn't have the fun part of knowing what you're not to come back to who you are. But then we have to know that, well, I'm both of it. We both have the dark in us to know, to remember, anger, fear, guilt, shame. Those things are ugly, nasty, they don't feel right. Control, those things don't feel right. Those are your natural things inside you, like, it feels yucky now. It doesn't, I don't like this. Why is my life like this? Because something that has you. So you have to deal with it and release it. What is it? And that's the doing part. We kept saying, well, I got to do something. I got to do something. What do you got to do? And then something else. Stop doing stuff. Just be love. And that's a lot to say. And most people, oh yeah, I'm loving. I'm a nice person, but I still hurt. And I said, no. This is next level. This is that Nat Con stuff. But even like most people can't understand some of his stuff and might not resonate with being loving. It is seeing that it's all good no matter what. But if you can play your role as why you came here, and that you know that your journey is still pushing you forward, start to find that trust. And it's hard to do that in the universe because your ego is constantly trying to get detail. Constant. How's this going to work out? How's that? Well, does this person even want to hear you? Or you're constantly trying to figure it out. But if you just stop doing and figuring things out and just allow it to just be as beautiful as it is. You see the divine in everything. It's everything. It cannot not be you because you are everything. So if you see somebody getting murdered, I'm not sitting there saying, stand back and be like, oh, that's divine right there, man. That dude's getting shanked. Look at that. That is loving and beautiful. No. When it's time, you'll know when to react. Your instincts tell you to save somebody, save them.
Right, but it's sort of just rising above the whole idea of duality and see how it's all just like a battery. You know, if you can kind of detach the emotion from it, you can really see how it's this well-oiled engine it is with the dark and the light and everybody's, you know, if you just kind of, you know what I mean? Everything has its part. There's no, you couldn't really see the brightness of white without the darkness of the dark. So it's all there, and it's all kind of just seeing it like as it is and realizing that even on the microscopic level, we all have that same evil within us, the capacity to do it. You know,
it's within us. That's it. It's within us. Yeah. And if we can see that it was the human race, as we are a very young, still primitive, but we're breaking through. We're a primitive race that is. We allowed things to control us. We gave people so much of our own power, and we've allowed so much of our own power to go out that not only does your power come from somebody has to pay you, you have to work, you have to get a marriage license, you have to do this, you have to do all these things, and from these other entities, like you got to go get a marriage license to get married. Bullshit! Get out of here. You don't own me. I'm a free being. I don't need that paper to show me that, or even somebody comes up and starts to fight with you, or what? It doesn't matter. If there is some kind of evil out there, we've allowed it to be here. But that's also why this is the greatest time to be on Earth, because we're here to liberate that in such a way. But as we go along our path, I notice so many of us hit glass ceilings. So many will hit that glass ceiling, and it's those moments like, well, I'm doing everything, and that comes back to the doing. Mm-hmm. We don't need to, if we want to get to that really one level where you're just so in tune with your higher self, you go outside, and I do this, and I've had this happen that I can remember 3 or 4 times where I've been outside and I look up at the night sky and I'll hold my heart and I'll thank the great spirit of all that is, and boom, shooting star. And in that moment, I know that that's me. That's me. That's me. Yeah. I'm doing that with me. I'm now aware of my own experience.
Yeah.
And a lot of people can get shifted off that really fast.
Yeah.
And a lot of things can happen, and they think, well, this is, whatever. I've tried and now there's this. Well, if there's something that you're going through and you're going on your ascended path, and there's still a little bit of judgment in you, but you're like, no, I'm not judgmental. But for some reason, when you get around somebody, you just like, man, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't do that. That's not what somebody who's aware or awake would do. That's not, I wouldn't go back to church or anything. Mm-hmm. That's not going to, what are we doing? That's not going to get us nowhere. That's immediately saying us and them. We put up a wall. So how do we break that wall down? It doesn't matter what we're doing. If we're just being pure love, and you're just, it's just following your heart, following your love. Everything falls into place. Everything works out. The people who come around you are beautiful, loving people, and you get a gift from them, and you give them back something. And then it's just a constant, beautiful dance with that everything that you are, all of the universe. And maybe other people are not aware of it. That's okay. And we don't have to go out and tell everybody our truth about what we know, because each person has their own truth right now. Sure.
Yeah.
But we are doing this in a way, or we need to go from doing to being. So if we're doing light work stuff, how about being love and radiating who you know you are to the people you want to help? And I had to try this. I know I've tried this with someone who I care very deeply about. And I got another thing that said, you guys, you can start practicing telepathy. And I practiced telepathy with this person. And I shit you not, we were driving, and I was like, hey, let's try this. And I was like, pick a number 1 through 10. And then she said it, boom, got it. I was like, oh, all right. And then I did another one, and then another one. And she kept getting them. And so I opened up the number range, 1 to 20. And then she started getting them. Boom, 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 boom. I'm like, oh, my God. Listen, we got to tell everybody. But it's not, it wouldn't make sense. That was for us, and we were knowing how in tune we were. And,
dude, I got to tell you about the synchronicity connected with what you're saying right now, because telepathy has been coming up over and over and over again for me. And in fact, I came across this cool PDF from one of our guests that were on that's like a telepathy 101 type thing, and I was going to do a video on it probably tomorrow, man. So that's so funny that
you like that,
or I'll start working on it anyway tomorrow. So yeah, that's what's wild.
It is,
and here you are talking about it. So yeah, it's been on the table for me quite a bit lately.
So I've come to learn, how do we practice telepathy? How do you know you're getting something from somebody? Well, what is the one thing, if you close your eyes and you had no sound around you, and there was nothing in your mind, kind of quiet. I'm not saying everybody's mind has to be quiet, but when you're in tune with someone that it just resonates with you, and you match the frequency, and it's just incredible. It gets easy on that for at least numbers. As far as if they're a distance, I've come to notice that let's say if I wasn't thinking about somebody, for a couple of days or a day, and all of a sudden there's just this, moment of like, man, I miss this person, or man, wish this person
the ping.
Here.
It's like a ping.
That's the ping. That's telepathy. They're thinking about you, and you're picking up on it. And that's what happened the other night. I went into, the self-care thing. I went into a meditation at 2 a.m. And this was something I've been waiting to do for a while. I've been trying to heal something with my family. Yeah. And recently I've been talking back with my mom. It's been over a year and a half, and we're starting to talk again, and it's incredible.
That's
and
awesome.
She's just trying to be understanding, because that's all I wanted to do. I wanted to just let them know I'm going through this. You don't have to believe it. You don't have to choose to believe it, but just hear me out, and you can just let me tell you what I'm going through just a little bit, and then that way you can get a more understanding of why I am this happy, why I'm this loving, why nothing bothers me, stuff like that. And she was just listening, it was incredible. But so that night, I jumped into a meditation, and there was a person that hadn't been in my life in a while, and I didn't let them. I respected and gave them the space they needed to heal, to go through what they needed to go through. And I stepped back, and it sucked. It sucked. But there were so many gifts that came from being so respectful for her wishes, to not want to say, why would somebody do that? What are you doing? Oh my God, I knew this was, no. I understand. I get it. I love you. I care about you. I'm here for you if you ever need. But you wish them the best, and you hold on to being loving no matter the circumstances. So back to the meditation. This comes full circle. I'm into the meditation, and what I wanted to do is I showed up at my mom's work in my meditation. I called in my guides. I called in her guide, and we were all connected. And she, it's weird because it's like I could see her asleep in the chair, and she has a really cake job. So, and we're standing around her in a circle, and I'm getting ready to do this healing thing. And then to the right of me, that person, that beautiful angel, showed up next to me. And she was right there. And I'm like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, hey, as soon as my ego was wanting to say something like, no, I must be making it up, I just said, no, I'm flowing with it. You're here. Let's do this. She grabbed my hand, and we all started like putting this healing love light over my mom and all this stuff. It was really beautiful. And then the next thing you know, I'm at like where she lives, and I'm like I'm sitting next to her bed, and I'm doing a meditation or a golden diamond love light around her and her family and all this stuff. And just, I don't talk to this person, but I can feel that there's something going on. There's something up. I don't know what, but I'm feeling drawn to help, to bring what I do and what I am and who I am to help. Something is off. So I'm constantly just now, every night, I go into this meditation, and I'm there, and I'm helping heal all of their family, every single family member and her, and I'm healing. And some people might not be able to pick it up because they might have a lot of negative stuff, a negative polarity, a lot of shadow, a lot of things going on in it, and they can't pick it up. But I know she can, and I know she did. And wow, it's happened. It was incredible. So then it started coming back to me like, I must be this, like, seriously super awesome, like, incredible being that has this incredible ability to actually unconditional love somebody that might trigger me. There might be somebody that triggers me, but then here I am trying to heal their heart and open them up to who they are. That is being loved in every moment. You know, when we feel like somebody triggers us, why do they trigger us? Because we're used to what? Getting told this. We all know that programming stuff. But we really know that at some point the doing hits the glass ceiling, and it's about the being. It's about the being. You're a human being, not a human doing, and we know that. And it's all natural. And the craziest thing, this journey is the hardest thing you're ever going to do. But it's the simplest thing you're ever going to be. It is so simple once you become a being instead of a doing thing. I'm not saying you don't go out and do like something is like go out. You tell me not to go out and sing to the tree. That's doing something. No. You're being loving. You're just walking around and being loving. You don't have to do anything anymore. Just step back and be with yourself. It's okay. You're safe. It's your home is there, and everything is here to play with you. And it wants to play with you. You gotta want to be with it. Be with it. Be with that play. And see everybody as, somebody else.
Recording started.
Soulmate, or see, somebody else as you in their eyes. And I know there's a lot of people looking for love. Still, even if they're trying to experience that oneness, they're looking for a partner. That's a part of you that knows there is something out there.
Right.
But if we are constantly trying to find that person, where are they at? Where are you? I'm not saying don't talk to people and try to, blah, blah, blah. We end up getting exactly what we're going to do, something that's going to get us caught up in something we don't want to be in. So
right.
It comes back to, okay, what do you deserve? Do you deserve to be treated like, oh, this person's on the phone, they are not listening to me, they don't resonate, they don't blah, blah, blah? Or do you deserve somebody who can walk up to you and give you a hug and it makes you start to cry? And then you can feel that. Or do you deserve somebody who tells you every day that you're beautiful and you're light and you're loved and you're awesome? Do you deserve to hear that? Yes, you fucking right you do, okay? Every one of us on this planet, in this universe, we deserve it, okay? But how do we bring that to us? Well, be loving, and it cannot not come to you. And when it comes to you, it will be like the most noticeable thing, and it will bing your inner bell louder than it ever has, because for the first time, you ended up matching somebody who can see you, who can feel who you are, and see everything, the beauty in you, the love in you, the light in you, and it's just ecstatic. And then, what's even better, those are little things that they can bring up, that can stir stuff up. Their light might be really strong, or the power is so intense, it might stir up something that you might need to heal, that you kind of thought, I got it, I figured it out, whatever. And then there could be a breakup, there could be problems, there's all this, and you're just you get stuck in that. Why is this happening? And then you get lost again. And we keep finding ourselves falling back or not getting further. And we might hit glass ceilings and all this other stuff. And if we're just able to truly trust our heart, truly trust what you feel is true, what you feel inside you, that if you're a hopeless romantic all your life, or feel that let's say you've had a thing for dragons and you collect dragons, or you feel connected, it doesn't matter. If you feel that, that's the truth. And you bring that to you. If you feel that you like dragons, do you not buy a whole bunch of dragons and put them in your house? Or you just find them, you come across a real cool one and you buy it, or whatever it is.
Lighthouses or whatever, yeah.
That's right, exactly. You, for some reason, you're allowing that to flow, and so you accept it, you trust it, you know it's there. So it's the same thing with love, and that is love. You love that, so it comes to you, and you surround yourself with it. But how many
feels great,
people
too.
do we know?
That's how you bliss out, too, you know?
Exactly, yes, yeah. And how many people, though, do we know that they might have a house full of figurines, right? A house full of figurines and stuff like that, and you're like, wow, man, that's cool. That's a fairy, and man, that's a dragon, or oh man, that's a wizard. What? Hey, to me, that's telling you something about who you are. You know what I mean? It's there. We might not see a dragon right in front of us, or a wizard, but you like it. It's exciting. It's fun. So it's that
magical or whatever.
Yeah, you follow that excitement 101 thing. But how can we get to a point to fully trust that? To fully trust that what you feel, and it excites you, and you start to follow it, and then all of a sudden, maybe a little thing happens. Maybe somebody says something, somebody does something that you don't like, or it offends you, and immediately will shake you up. And then you're excited, like, I followed my highest excitement, but look where it got me here. That's because, to me, the ego gets involved, and as you're following your excitement, and if something happens, the ego's like, whoa, oh, shoot, man, I guess this is it. I knew this was going to, I got it, now, it's all over. Yeah, and then your ego just blocks you completely out.
Oh, I thought your battery just ran down or something. You had me going there for a second.
What?
No, with what you were saying there, when you're imitating what your response was, I thought you were really having an issue with your phone when you said that this is it. It's funny at the end.
Oh, no.
Hey, I wanted to cut in though really fast just to let you guys know that recording started was actually on my end, and that's because someone called in. And I want to tell you guys, you're only going to hear one part of the conversation if you call in on the phone number because of the technical difficulties we had at the beginning. This is our guest, Kerry Dowding. He's been on the show before. We met in Sedona, and we had he was on the Sedona video. He's been on a few times. He's been on with Dan from Talk is Cheap. So just to let you guys know who this is, that may be just dropping in late in the broadcast. We're about 45 minutes into it here. Okay, back to this whole thing. Back to you, Kerry.
Okay, bro. So how do we get that excitement and trust it? How can we fully trust what we feel is to be true, right? And this was so incredible for me because when I turned off my TV and I've just been listening to high vibe music and playing my guitar for this beautiful, beautiful goddess that I know. I do it for humanity too. I don't leave y'all out. Trust me, I don't. But she is a soul focus for me, because it resonates. I feel this person is so incredible, and she deserves the world. So if this is all I can give her, you know what? I'm about to rain down the love of the universe on her ass, and and it's going to be incredible for her, and it's amazing. So we have to trust that excitement. And as I was playing around here, and I don't have any distractions, and I did the meditations and stuff like that, I started questioning, wait, was it just me wanting that person to come in and all this stuff? And am I just tripping out here, after I got out of that meditation? And then it would just come to me. What does your original feeling feel like? The original thought feel like? And I went back and oh my God, yeah, it felt good. I was like, she's here, and I just flowed with it. I allowed it and just went with it, embraced it, and I was taken on a journey in my meditation to heal not only my mom, but this beautiful person, this beautiful goddess. So I started talking to whatever it was that was, and kind of like, what did you feel? Did you like this feeling? And it comes back to, your feeling of being the feeling of love inside you, respect, safety, love, joy, bliss, all that stuff. So, yeah, okay. So I was like, okay, what else? Did that golden diamond blanket that I imagined, or I was in my meditation covering my mom, is that real? Is that actually something I'm doing? What do you think? That's what came back. And what do you feel? I said, yeah, it feels like I'm actually helping it. And then I found myself in the middle of a dialogue with my higher self. And I couldn't believe the amount of synchronicity. And then I started asking, okay, what about these synchronicities? I've been seeing 111, 222, 424. 424 is my number. That is my prime, biggest, like it's about to get awesome for you number. Keep going.
So it's 12 days to your birthday, right?
Yeah, it is 12 days. It is.
All right.
This has been a real powerful month too.
The 424.
I'm finally on the.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm finally on the other side of all that craziness. So anyway, the synchronicities was really starting to feel like it was frustrating, because I'm like, what does that mean? Well, okay, now why am I seeing all of this? And then really, Luna Ash had a really good a flow of insight that, and it resonated and clicked within me in just in a millisecond, that those are your reflection. Like, so it's a reflection of you experiencing you, and to see that, you see it in these number synchronicities, you see that you are on the right path, that where you're going and what you're doing, what you're feeling mainly inside, your conscious expanding, and your heart and your love for people is growing. You start seeing reflections back to you given from the universe, right? But then you want to try to dial that down. Okay, let's try to, and you start fine-tuning. Now you're starting to become into like what they call mastery. You start fine-tuning your inner being to and your ego to connect, so that your ego will stop questioning everything that's coming to you, and just allow your heart and your feeling of love to be your guide, to truly be a part of your experience. And as soon as you truly let go, not let go, no, let me take that back. As soon as you embrace that the ego is not there to hurt you, but it's there to, what we think, to protect you. But then if you say, ego, it's okay, man. Let the heart follow. It's all right. Trust it this time. Let's just see what happens. Follow it, follow it.
That's such a great way to talk to it, too, because it is like that. Are you sure about this? This doesn't make any sense. And it's like that analyzing voice in your head,
Yes. How many times do we how many people talk to themselves, and they're like, well, I don't know, most of it's about bills or whatever, but when you're trying to figure something out, you ask a question, you're like, what does that mean? And then you'll get something, but you're like, well, I don't, and then your ego cuts in, and if it's not somebody standing in front of you saying, oh, it's this, then you're not really going to register it. You got to learn how, we've got to learn how to, that believing is seen. Believe in yourself. believe that what is coming through is good. And so for a prime example, you can do little things. Just do little things to start out with. I did one this morning. I was going to go get a piece of gum. My mouth was a little dry. And then something said, you don't want the gum. And I asked her, I said, why? Said, well, it's a lot of sugar in it. Okay, what? Well, my mouth's dry. I want some. Go get a cough drop. I don't, a cough drop? Why do I want a cough? I don't want a cough drop. It's a lot healthier. Just go get a cough drop. And I knew exactly where I found 2 cough drops the other day. I found random 2 cough drops, and I went and grabbed this cough drop. And when I grabbed this cough drop, Hall decides on their little cough drops, they put pep talks on it. And on that paper, it said, courage, own this day. Yeah. Holy shit. Look at that. Little, just like little, if you just trust, you're going to get a synchronicity or something that you're like, oh my God, okay. I have a wound. This one was really cool. This one blew my mind. I have a wound on my body. I won't go into detail, but I got hurt, and it's in a place where if you put like Neosporin on it, it's horrible. So I was like, okay, I'm going to try to naturally heal this thing. But I was starting to feel that it was starting to hurt. And I was like, what can I do? I was like, the Neosporin's not working. What do I do? And I started just sitting in, not even sitting, I was standing. I was just kind of sitting with it or quiet with it. And all of a sudden it said, get a tea bag. I'm like, what? And it just, boo, what the heck? Why a tea bag? And I have these South Africa is it rubos or green red tea? Man. It's something like it's amazing. It's this red tea, and it said, "Get the tea." And I went over there and I grabbed the tea canister, and I put it back down. I'm like, no, come on, man, that's silly. And then it hit me. It's like, are you not trying to? And it told me, it was like, are you not trying to trust and learn how to trust? Trust it. Just trust it. I was, all right, you know what? I don't have anything to lose. Let's see. I'm like, it's going to sting like a son of a bitch, but oh well, let's see what happens. I put it on the wound, and like I guess your water or whatever from like the moisture of your wound, kind of got in the tea, and then the tea seeped out, and I haven't felt it all damn day. Wow. And I still have the tea bag on that cut, on that wound. Incredible. Little things like that. And I just start jumping for joy because I'm like, I don't feel it. It works. It's a tea. It's a tea bag. It was a tea bag. It was a tea bag. That's awesome, man. It is those things, those little. We got to start learning how to really, truly flow in the trust. When they say surrender to the universe, that truly means surrender. That doesn't mean, okay, I surrender to the universe. How's it all going to work out? Tell me how I'm going to do this. I'm calling forth all this, and I want that to happen. How's it going to work? That you got to surrender, trust it. If you're calling something forth, for instance, every morning I wake up, I call forth for light and love of my higher conscience that I know that I am to work and embody in my body, in my here and my now, through my body, my words, my thoughts, and my actions in every moment. And you start to feel like your heart open every single time you're calling something forth, and you do this as a daily thing. You call these things forth, and you may not be immediately seeing them, but for some reason in your heart you could feel like, oh man, oh that feels good. That's an exciting feeling. You're calling forth something that is awesome. I call forth for millions and millions of dollars so that I can experience just giving it back to myself out there. I have so many amazing organizations I want to donate to. I have so many crazy, amazing ideas. There's the Institute of Ascension and Mastery. There's all these amazing things. But the main thing, I just want to experience giving away, because I actually experienced that when I received a bunch of money. I called forth to buy my mom a house because she was about to be homeless. Boom, my VA got reapproved. They redid an investigation, reapproved me, and 2 weeks before she was going to be on the street, $50,000 hit my account, and I bought her a brand new home and remodeled the whole thing. So then I wanted to see, okay, because of just how I felt about it, I didn't think it wasn't going to happen, or how I got to figure out how it's going to happen and constantly do stuff. You do take action, but it's a natural action, right? It's a natural thing. You want to go on a hike. Things that inspire you, follow what inspires you, follow what feels good, follow what excites you. And even if you're not getting that immediate result, stay in the excitement that you feel when you're calling it forth. And that's how you bring it to you. You stay there because you know, without a doubt, the universe will provide. That's what it does. It will. You just got to match that frequency. You've got to be able to be okay that you don't need it to make you feel happy because you're fulfilled right now. You just want to experience what you're feeling inside you to experience it outside of you.
Absolutely.
Right? Inner, outer. And that's how I call these things forth. And then when you start to see a number synchronicity, when you're in the gas station and there's a number synchronicity, or you get a little ping that you should buy a scratch off, do it. Do it. Now, the key thing is, you might get the ticket, right? And you might look at the ticket and you see, oh, look, there's some synchronicities on the ticket. Oh, my God. Stay in that excitement. When that pings you and you're starting to see, like, oh, my God, there's a synchronicity there. And you're like, oh, I think I just won it. I don't know. I'm going to go with it. I don't know how. What am I going to do with money? I'm going to do this. And then the ego comes in. And let's just say you don't win, but there were synchronicities. You're like, well, there are synchronicities. What the heck? That's just telling you, keep going. Don't stop. You're getting there. You're getting there. It's coming. Yeah. It's not time yet. You still have to learn. Something's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's just, it's got to meet and match with you. And if you're, worried that you didn't win, or you're just like, man, I'm calling for this money, but man, if it was here right now, you just be okay. Keep calling it forth. Have those moments of giving it out. I imagine giving it out and just giving it out and giving it out and put new wells in Africa and donating to Feather's Tail, this gentleman in South Africa who followed the numbers 1111 and didn't have a single dime, who used to be an addict, and now he runs a nonprofit organization, Feather's Tail, in Tanzania. He brings in children who are mentally handicapped and that they get left in closets. They get left on the street because the parents, they don't want to take care of them. And you're talking about the love that I feel right now, just seeing what this guy is doing by following his inner being. I want to help him because he's constantly getting sick and they don't have enough. And so in my mind, I want to call forth millions of dollars, and I want to walk up to him and I want to give him a check for $3 million. So he can just blow that whole organization to a whole nother level, because that is what we do. That's being human. That's being love. Because that's the love we want to see in the entire world. We want to see people loving, but we can't experience that until we experience it in ourselves. And that means to love yourself more. Hold your heart. Take your left hand every morning when you wake up and every time you go to bed, or do it throughout the day. Grab your heart and tell your heart you love. I love you. I love you. That shit works. That is the best thing Nat Kahn has ever taught me, is to tell yourself that you love yourself and you deserve everything that you desire. And in those moments, you can't help but want to stay in that flow. And when you're there, it's going to get better and better, and it's just going to keep flowing. We've got to really be able to do more self-care. We've got to learn how to take away more distractions, let go, release, embrace what you used to hold on to, but finally turn it up a notch. You want to see results? Turn it up a notch. See what happens. If you don't want to quit smoking or quit dipping or smoking or drinking, you don't because you enjoy it, but it's not beneficial for you, you're gonna find yourself going through a weird fluctuation sometimes, because your natural being is pure. So after my self-care, I'm dropping tobacco. I got rid of the weed. It's amazing. I'm turning it up. I'm committing to who I feel inside, because that's what I deserve. I deserve to feel better all the time. I deserve more love. If I feel this much love now, imagine if I kick the things that I'm holding on to that aren't serving me no good. Imagine what levels I'll hit then. Whew, holy crap. But we have that, again, the ego comes in, well, I do enjoy, I like this. I thought if we love it, it's okay. Sure, if it works for you, flow with it. Don't hold back. But start to ask yourself, at what point is enough that you want to see something different, you want to exchange, you want to experience something even more. So shift something. It's a give and take. You offer out, and what we call release, to the universe. Okay, I'm not holding on to this anymore because I want to experience more myself. That's your intention. It's going to happen. As soon as you get rid of it, it's just things just start boo, 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 boo. You might have an immediate. You might get a text from somebody you haven't heard from in a while. You might hear from somebody or see somebody. It doesn't matter what it is.
Right.
You'll just get something back. And it's incredible. It is a perfect play in a way that you can truly, truly experience being in the physical, because that's why we came here. That's why we're here. We're here to experience what we are, who we are, and then to experience it in a physical sense, in a physical way. And it's a beautiful thing. It really is. I just really, really, really want so many of us brothers and sisters out there to know that if they're going through something, it's okay. Be okay with what you're going through. Embrace what you're going through. If you're not in your highest excitement, it doesn't feel good, whatever it is, don't fight it. Stop fighting. Stop trying to figure it out. Just be okay with it. Know everything's working out perfectly. And remember to excite yourself, even if you daydream. Start imagining more. If you're at work, get at your work. Take 2 to 5 minutes and imagine yourself doing something amazingly caring, giving hugs out. Like I said, I give, it's hugs or donating money. It's just playing guitar for an audience. There was one time I wanted to heal from all my past relationships with my girlfriend, all my girlfriends in my life.
Yeah.
And I imagined myself, I was playing this Ed Sheeran song, and I had my guitar, and I imagined standing up on the stage looking at every single divine feminine that I'd ever dated and came across. And I was singing to every single one of them, because I know it's me, and I thank them for showing me love and showing me the way home. And I was in tears, man. Oh my God. It was just, I was like, that is being loving. I never thought I would go back. This girl cheated on me, or that girl did. No, it don't matter. That's not what love does. Love is bold. Love is endless. Love doesn't care if you're, bigger or skinnier or big. Love doesn't care if you're poor or rich. It doesn't matter if you have it figured out or anything. Love is just going to be there all the time. And if you allow yourself, because every one of us deserve to feel that more love and not less. We deserve it because we are awesome. We are awesome. Every one of us is these incredible beings. And we can't go and say, yeah, we're all awesome, but that pedophile over there is not. No, we need to flip from judgment, and we need to learn how to let go of what judgment is, because that's like a guilt, a fear, and learn what discernment is. Discernment, you understand that person's path is not what you want to go through, but you are going through it because you are that person, whether you believe it or not. And then you can kind of see that, man, that they must have really gone through something to be in that position. And then you see, man, if they just only knew how amazing they are, they would just shine ever so brightly. And then all of a sudden, you just now looked at somebody who what we used to judge as a piece of crap, or you pedophile, you child molester, blah, blah, blah. Not only have we just shifted from judgment, we just gave that person something they probably have never received in their entire life here on earth. And that's probably why they're in that position, because they didn't hear the words that we might have heard. They didn't experience the things that we might not have experienced. And in that moment, you then show love, and you wish them and bless them along their path. And all of a sudden, I'm getting goosebumps feeling this right now, because you're embracing the fact that love is boundless. Love is limitless. You don't have to be okay with what that person is doing, but you don't have to criticize, because you're not criticizing that. You're going to criticize yourself. And as soon as you criticize somebody, you're going to feel yucky. It's going to immediately drop your vibration, and you're just going to feel yucky. And then all of a sudden, it's going to be their fault. If I didn't, blah, blah, blah. It is a wild, wild journey. But
it is, and it's fun. I mean, you can really enjoy it right in the now. And I find that, I always regret not enjoying things in the past. So that's like sort of the motto I live by right now, So even when something's tough or difficult or something, I kind of embrace it. I'm like, you know what? I'll kind of miss this toughness of this in the future. I appreciate the challenge and stuff like that. I mean, you can really switch your perspective on just about anything,
I mean, here's a cool one for you. A little switch of perspective that just happened the other day.
Mm-hmm.
When you remember Sedona, and I mean, we were there to support Allison, and a whole bunch of chain reactions started happening. People meeting people, and connecting. And when I met this person, this beautiful goddess, as soon as I left the hotel, I pulled up at the first stoplight, and the truck in front of me was 444 dash, and the letters were EVL, which immediately evil, and it's evil. And I took a picture and I sent her. I was like, "Hey, look, 444." And then she told me that's her prime number. Like, mine's 424, hers is 444. That's the time she was born. And I was like, "Oh man, okay, what the hell does the evil mean? What is that?" But I left it alone. I didn't put any attention to it. I left it alone. And then just the other day, I just kind of wanted to know, and I asked myself, I said, well, okay, just out of curiosity, because things work, I don't know, the 444, the EDL, the evil, what, I don't get it. What was that?
Yeah.
They're like, what is it that we're always doing? We're looking at things backwards. We're always expecting or perceiving one way, one certain way, right? Well, then, all of a sudden, when it clicked in me, I started crying. And this was just like 2 or 3 days ago. Because as soon as I turned and flipped the letters around, LBE, that's love, my friend.
Yeah.
So,
and I was sitting there thinking, I was like, you know what? I don't think I would have went with evil. I would have went with evolved or evolution or.
That's something there. Yeah, that's
evolved.
a good one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel you.
Right there, that's a great example of how each person's individual path can. It doesn't matter if you see evolve, that would work. That resonates with you, right? With me, I seen evil, but I was like, well, that doesn't resonate. But then I flip it around and I see love. I'm like, oh, holy shit! But
yeah, that's actually pretty cool. That's actually really cool, though. Yeah, I wasn't trying to take away from that because that's really cool. Yeah, because it was hidden in plain sight. It was hidden right there for you to discover it.
That's the one thing you can't do in my universe, my friend. In my world, you can't take away anything, okay? Because it's all there.
It is. It's beautiful. So, it's all working together for each other. So.
Yeah, and it's just it was a good example of just each person is experiencing their own truth. Because it would be really boring if each and every one of us was going and experiencing the same thing. That would be, as you're the one, there's one being, that would just be really boring, So, when this happens, it's okay. So if you're, I'm so glad you brought this up. This is so good. I'm getting this as I'm going, so slow with it. As you are, if you can see that your truth is your truth, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. If somebody else says, well, no, what it means is this. Okay? Now, if you immediately get defensive, then that's something in you, that's the whole thing you got to kind of get within yourself. But if you allowed it and said, you know what, that is good. I'll give you a great example. I went to this place, it's called High Frequency Loft in Taos. Incredible place. I go there for this gong meditation bath thing. It was incredible. And then a couple weeks later, what was it, St. Patrick's Day. They had a 2-year anniversary, and they were having a big get together, and they were doing like a shamanic journeys, drum circles, all the stuff that we want to see in the here and now and in the new earth. It was happening. I was in this place. There's all this amazing like DMT artwork. They had these crystal laser light shows. And I'm like, this is like a new earth party, and I'm just enjoying it. And I loved it so much that I went back to them that evening, and I told them, look, what you're doing for the community is incredible. You know, blah 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 blah. I was like, I would really like to donate my time to helping you because you guys look. They lived in the law, and they lived where they worked. And I was like, it looks like you guys need somebody to help out to maybe lighten load so you can have time for you. This is where my heart, this is what just drives me, because I love helping, serving. I love volunteering. I want to help people experience more of themselves. So then I told them that, and I said, you guys think about it, hit me up. That evening, they offered me a room in the loft, and I thought that was incredible. And a couple days later, I was going to meet with them, meet with the guy and talk logistics. Well, I go to meet him in Taos, and these are people that do meditation, yoga. They do Kundalini stuff. They do all this, what brings you to your awareness and oneness of who you are, your light, your love. They preach and teach all of it. I get to go and meet this guy. And for 4 hours, I realized I wasn't there to talk logistics anymore, that I just needed to be there for him to listen, for somebody to listen to him. He just needs somebody to talk to, because they had broke up. And then he starts telling me about all this stuff, like when the doors are closed, it's a totally different person. She starts throwing stuff at me. She's cussing at me, hitting her. All this. I'm like, what? Wait, hold on. You're telling me that you're practicing or you're preaching and you're teaching light and love, but you're not living it? And it threw me for just a complete mess. I was like, well, everything I've been going to and following, again, it's been true, light and love. Well, as I was talking to him, and it comes back full circle, he starts asking me about, so you believe in the flat earth? And I didn't, usually you just, no, the earth's not flat. But in my world, in my universe, everything is possible. Anything and everything, there's nothing impossible. So I said, you know what? It could be. No, it is, man. I'm like, well, I mean, if a sailboat sailed in one direction, west, it would come back full circle to its location. He's like, well, what if the gravitational pull and everything that was set up just messed with your whole frequency, and then you just basically did like a U-turn and you ended up back where you're at? I'm like, well, let me ask you this. Does it really matter if it's round or if it's flat? Does it bring you to any more clarity of who you are? Mm-hmm. And he kind of blocked that out. He was like, oh man, come on, well, you round earth? I said, no. I mean, in my world, yes. I spoke my truth. I said, in my universe, in my world, my earth is round. I believe it's a sphere, yes. But if you feel that it is a flat earth, who am I to tell that person they're wrong? Because as soon as I say they're wrong, that makes me think that I'm this, ego guy and I know all the answers. And I don't know all of them. I'll remember them along my journey. But hey, why not? If it's flat to him, why not? Sure. But what does it do for you as a spiritual being? Does it, hey, we're on a flat earth. Cool. Cool. Now what? And that's really where it came back to me. I couldn't figure out what was happening. But in that moment, I realized, oh my God, I just embraced somebody else's truth, even if it isn't my truth. The difference is I'm still being loving, no matter what. And in somebody in a world like that's still going through a lot of stuff, he might do yoga, he might do preaching, he might not believe in extraterrestrials, he might think they're demonic, or it's all false, it's all BS. Well, then in his world, that's going to be a limited world. You're going to have nothing but just crap and just same stuff. Nothing's changing, and you just basically shield yourself, put yourself in a corner, and you don't ever get to experience or become aware of your own experience. And that's not what we're going to do. So if they're not on that, it's not for us to tell them anything else. If we were sitting there trying to fix them, we're thinking they're broken, and nobody's broken. We're all good. Everybody's going through stuff. But we can try to embrace everybody, their own stuff. So if somebody tells you what synchronicities are to them, it may not be synchronicities in the way they are to you, but that's okay because it works for them. So who am I?
That's such a great point, man, and that's like what I try to get to more than anything is that just let people be wherever they're at on their journey. You know, I was where I was, and it seems to me that I've been seeing a trend of people seeming to come around when you sort of just leave them alone and treat them with love and stuff. They'll eventually sort of, I don't know. I've been seeing a trend throughout, you know, just from people I talk to and stuff, where it seems like people are coming around. So I don't know, man. I would say don't give up on people because you just never know, you know? Just keep loving them and wherever they're at, you know?
Well, here's what's really cool about that, too. When you're actually in that flow, at first it's very, because you're never being tested, and I want everybody to know that, and I'm sure a lot too, but some of us think that, oh, okay, this is a test, okay, I'm going to try. No, the universe isn't testing you, okay? You know? It's just a part of your path. You're never being tested. That would just be silly and pressurizing. But when you're being loving, it's because it all comes back down to you, right? It comes back to you. No matter what you are being or doing, it's about what you're being. So let's say you're being loving and all these amazing things are happening, and then there's a switch. And let's say that, I'll give you a great example. Somebody, it's just completely, it's out of your life. And they have completely changed in a way, and you're just so, what the hell? But if I started to like, what's going on? Why are you doing this? Oh, no. You just sit back and just constantly. It's what, because you want to take whatever it is, when it ends, when it stops, whatever it is. If you stop and when it's done, and in that moment when it's over, both of you immediately start missing each other. That's how you know you did it right. That's how you know you got it right. And then, and if it's going to come back and it's going to make itself known to you again in an obvious way, then there's a reason why it happens for it to happen and for you to heal and go through stuff. But it will come back, and if it's supposed to come back, it does. And if you trust in that, it comes back. That's just my own example. So I wanted to be so loving because this person deserves more love, not less. So I know that I didn't like it. I wanted to stay in it. I didn't want this to end, but I'm not going to say something to her that would make me feel like I might have wanted to be like, what the hell are you doing? This is stupid. That didn't resonate at all. All I just wanted to say is, okay, it's okay. I love you, and I miss you, and I'll miss you, but I know it's all right. And wow, the turnaround of things that just started going out of me as far as basically putting your feelings into somebody else's action.
Yeah.
And then
or just getting inside, just almost just getting from their perspective and just really understanding what they're feeling in the moment from where they're at, you know, and what they're going through instead of being selfish. That's the whole getting the ego thing under control right there, you know.
Because, again, it comes back to who am I to say anything about what they are going through. They are going through a journey too, just like you did, just like I did. Everybody has their own unique journey, and as long as they know that it's going to be all right, things are going to work out, things are always working out for me. There's no way that the love I feel inside me is it doesn't, if something's in front of you and it doesn't excite you and it's not there and it's, you know, it's just, something's got to change. It was not, you know, and it's the changes in you, you know, and everybody, every man and woman, divine masculine, divine feminine, truly, it exists in all of us. You know, the men, the masculine, the more we accept that we are divine masculine and divine feminine, you can then understand and be a true man to a woman, to show them and to reciprocate and to reflect that beauty that they are. Because for years we've been living in this control over women. And now that the divine feminine is coming out, embrace that, men. Embrace that, guys, because this is how we get ourselves to be more compassionate, more loving, and more understanding. And somehow, when you do that as a man, something happens to you, and you are in a totally different world. Everything is awesome. You love everyone. You're not judging anybody. You're not proud and prideful. You're not. You're proud, but you're not prideful. You're not like, oh man, because that's the masculine. You now are starting to let the feminine side of you do the journey with you. You can still be a man, but you can allow the inner woman in you to just let it guide your heart and just see what happens. And,
that's funny that you mention this. This whole thing about the divine feminine and the equaling, and you can even see some distortions within that happening. But I just feel like I was really blessed in that area because, I was raised with both parents until I guess I was in my teen years, and then we went off and it was just my mom and my sister, and then my first 4 children were girls. So I've always been surrounded by girls, and it's really helped me in that area that you're talking about. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. Same with me. I was raised. I'm the only son. I'm the only grandson. For my grandmother, I'm the only grandson. Yeah. I'm the only nephew. Yeah. Only uncle. And the first generation. In the first generation part, that's all. It's just me. In my lineage part. And it's just been women. I grew up with my mom and my sister, and then we moved to Tipton, which my grandma was there. And both my father, my sister's father, my niece's father, when my sister had a kid, and my grandmother's wife, none of our fathers were around. All of them were gone. Every one of them split. My mom, divorced. My grandmother was married to my grandfather, of course. None of our men stayed around, and I just was so, what the hell? And my mom didn't really like. She was kind of blocking herself. Men are nasty, blah blah blah. And I would feel that. And what was really weird about living with women, I think some women are neat and tidy, but when you live with these women, man, you've got to learn how to be okay with stuff real quick, because they helped me, because I could not stand walking into a bathroom and seeing a feminine product in the trash can. Immediately my stomach like, I would start getting sick. And I didn't know what, I didn't understand. It's almost like when I see a used wet Band-Aid in the shower or something. It's just the same thing.
You're killing me here.
What was really cool is as I started going through my awakening and I met somebody, I got to spend time with them. And this person was like, man, I hope you're okay with feminine products and all that stuff. And it was the weirdest thing, because I was like, yeah, hell yeah, I am. I'm like, wait a second. That doesn't make any sense. My whole life, I've just been, ugh. And I remember at the beginning, I told her kind of something like that, but I was like, no, I love her so much. I don't care. Leave them out on the floor. I don't care. Just don't have them in the bag of chips or anything like that. But so it was a really beautiful thing for me, because the women that I lived with, I was the weirdest thing too, because they weren't as uptight, like cleanness as for me. My mom would throw clothes everywhere, mail all over the table, and I'm over there stacking it in a perfect neat stack, and I'm like, what are you doing? The clothes basket is over here. Why not make your bed every morning? Why is this always dirty? And in my house, I'm always clean. It's clean, it's tidy. My shoes are from big to small. Oh man, it's not OCD. It was a natural thing for me. It's just, I love being a little organized. It makes things smoother for me. It's cleaner, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know where that came from. Then it hit me. I was like, you were around feminine. That they might have not. That has nothing to do with the divine feminine, but living with them and seeing that, well, being discerning that maybe that's not the way I would live. And then you go out, and then all of a sudden it becomes a lesson. That, when you become that person, that aware, conscious being that you now know that you're living in your experience, you can be discerning and say, I may not live like that. So then you go out and you express how you would live, and then it takes you to the most magical places. And something just came up behind me. I think I have my guys here with me because that was a big one.
Was it an orb or something?
It was, yeah, dude, it was huge, and it was like it hit. I'm standing in front of my fireplace, and there's a stovepipe, and I seen it come across the room, and it like hit the stovepipe, and I turned around to see what the hell that was. But, what's up, my friend? So, okay. Since we're really good in that, and the guides came in, it feels like it's a little time to talk about making extraterrestrial contact. This is going to be a good one. So, we all want to have extraterrestrial contact, right? Everyone.
Yeah. Well, most of us. I've seen a few people not really be interested in it, but definitely, I think I'm not worried about it. I mean, I'm wanting to.
You don't have to be interested in it. You don't have to be interested in it, but if every person, I don't care who you are, because we were programmed to not know. When you see a UFO, you are just like, oh my God, what is it? Oh, man, I don't know what that is. You're just trying to figure it. It's exciting to you. It's new. It's like, what is this? So there might be people out there like, oh, they don't believe it or whatever. It don't matter, because as soon as they see one, they're like, oh my God, they're so excited. They're figuring out. Some people get fearful. But as I went along my path and they showed up on basically my front doorstep, hypothetically, was in the sky, on my birthday 2 years ago, that was the initial rabbit hole, the taking the red pill and going through this whole thing of we're not alone. But the thing was, as I was doing that, I was showing my mom, my grandmother, my sister, I've showed my friends. They have anybody who's been around me or with me, and especially my home or in Tippett or anything like that, and just been with me, they experience something incredible. It's incredible, right? And I just try to express to them like that they're letting us know that we're not alone, but there's more to it. And that's the part that I wasn't aware of at the time. So I was constantly going out like, we're not alone, we're not alone. There's extraterrestrials, and I was trying to show everybody all these videos. And it was kind of, my grandmother, she's seen the flashes and seen the cool thing and the red orb that came in, and she thought it was amazing. But then she had what she felt like was a nightmare. And to me, what registered to me is that she just didn't know what she was looking at. To me, I believe her guides or her own star family came in because came into her dream to show themselves, and it freaked her out. I get that. I get it. So, and then I had to think about it. It's like, well, maybe I'm going about this the wrong way. How can I be a better service to help people awaken? To wake people up.
Yeah.
And that's when, after all this and that mushroom trip, and this was the coolest thing, because after my mushroom journey, Sunday, and the next day, it was a perfect combination of synchronicities. The higher self channel put out making extraterrestrial contact, or it was just a few, maybe a day after, so Monday or something like that. And I listened to it, and it was the same thing, because in my experience, I'm making contact, and I'm like, man, they need to have disclosure, man. I'm ready for these beautiful, awesome beings, my brothers and sisters of the universe, to come down and blah, 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 blah. And then right then, it just flashed over me. I am putting them coming down to me on the president and the government to disclose it first so they can come and visit me. I just now put up a block. I just put up that somebody has a control over my own experience. And boom, was that not gone? It was gone in a heartbeat. And then the higher self channel had that in their thing. Like, if you want to have that experience, you can bring that. It could be a part of your contract, your soul contract, or whatever you want to call it, your path. And it can happen. But a lot of us, we really want it. But then what happens if you see something that doesn't register, and you are used to beautiful beings, and you see something with tentacles, or you see something that just like, you're like, oh man, that's not cute. They're going to feel that, right? Because they're multidimensional beings. They're going to feel that. And they don't want that to happen. They don't want to cause anything, right? And I'm not saying all extraterrestrials they're all beautiful. Doesn't matter, right?
But I'm sure it can be shocking though your first time,
Shit, yeah, it's gonna be because you're programmed to think that we're just humans and we're the only one in the universe. You're so used to just a human, but yet you can go over there and look at a dog, like let's say a pug-nosed dog, that are just I'm gonna not put out. They are the cutest things. But we
right, I get where you're going with this. You don't even want to say it, but I get it. Yeah, you would typically not think they're the best looking, but at the same time, there's a cuteness to them. So I totally get what you're saying.
And are not all dogs just the most loving things? Do we not treat our pets like they're our own family? So why can we not do the same and grow? This is how we grow as a human collective to, hey, it doesn't matter. It would be a fun experience. I will put myself in a position for that to happen. But yeah, it could be shocking. And you're also, if you're not ready for it, they're not going to bring it to you. So prepare for yourself for that. And if you have any fear, any drop of fear, it's just not going to happen. They'll stay out there, and that's cool. That's all right. But if you put yourself in a position where you start just being loving, and then you're having these contact experiences, but you want to get closer to it. And you're doing the meditations and you're having experiences in your meditation, but now you want to experience it in your physical. It becomes your own personal path, and you got to just put yourself somewhere to where they can come and do that, right? And make that contact. It's not going to be them coming down and then you're going to run and go get the news station and then like, oh my God, look, they're here. It's just a personal path. It's a personal choice. If they come down, and then you have that experience, and you run out and you go tell everybody because you're so super excited, that's great, but be real discerning on how you're coming out, because some people might think you're a freak. Somebody's like, oh my God, listen to this dude. He just said like some crap came down and he's talking to these yell. I don't know what a yell is, but whatever. So then
that's why we got this nice little safe place here, man. We're all weird like that in some way or another.
We're all weird. Okay, here's a good one for you to learn how to be accepting to anything like that. If something you don't understand, we all, every single one of us, we consider ourselves. There might be times where if there was some of us that had mirrors, basically a reflection, and we didn't like what we seen, right? We didn't even like our own self, right? So if we can't even be true loving to ourselves, we can't do that properly with another being or a being like that. Because they're empathic too. They feel, right? They feel it. You feel just, it's the same thing. They don't want to feel like you look at them and just feel like, oh, that's ugly, because they know they're beautiful. They don't want to have the experience of getting around somebody that's going to put a feeling out that they feel like they're ugly. They're like, we're just not going to come down there. We're going to wait on you guys. Wait on you. We're here. We're supporting. We're there. And it's a cool thing. So that really kind of opens up for those extraterrestrial contacts. And as long as you don't have an expectation or you want a certain outcome and you just let it flow, you are going to see lights in the sky. You're going to see the flashes. You're going to have experiences of them coming in close. And it's just going to be incredible. But you've got to remember that is a reflection of you and what you're doing in your world. You're doing something so loving, so awesome, and so unconditional. There's no strings attached. You just want to be loving and experience all of you. They want to come and experience you too, because they're looking at this. They're watching us play, and this is the greatest game on earth. It is so much fun. And I guess the part that comes point, if you're going through your ascension path and you've hit a peak of awesomeness and then you drop down, don't ever think that it's bad and this just doesn't work out, now all of it's fake. Don't give up. Never give up on yourself. Never give up on your heart. Never give up on your joys. Never give up on the things you desire, even if right then and there what's happening in front of you isn't exactly what you would be choosing. But I promise you, as you go along and you just give more trust everything will be okay. Everything works out, and it gets better. And then all of a sudden it gets better and better. And then the extraterrestrial contact, that doesn't even matter. You don't care about making contact anymore. You still do it because you love it, but you don't have this inkling that you want to do. That's where I was. I was like, come on, man, come on down. We got to let these people know that this is BS, man. We're being agendified, you know.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's a fun game, but let's try to really show compassion to these incredible beings who are taking their own experience and coming here to help us. They're coming here to show us, and they don't have to. They don't have to, but they
want to
because
they're like our big brothers and sisters.
So loving.
Yeah,
that's it. They are us. That is the way you feel. The exact same feeling you feel in your heart for love is the same feeling they feel. So have some compassion. Have some gratitude for what and who they are, because it is you, and it's future, like things of you and different aspects of you too, and looking back at itself and wow, that's the beginning stage of evolution right there. And you come down here to help them out just so they can remember who they are. That is one of the coolest things somebody could do. And you know what? That's when it clicked to me. Hey, this is their experience. They're experiencing trying to be of service to humanity, to show us that we are these powerful beings. It's in our ancient texts. It has been there all along, to start opening our eyes, to start asking these questions. But when we get to a point when we got enough answers, be okay. Don't have to find out every single question and have every single answer that you have to figure it out right now. Because if you figured it out all right now, it would game over. It's boring. It's over. It's done. You don't have any game. You have no journey.
Yeah.
So just allow it to be. Have questions. Questions are good. But also allow the answers to come to you. Don't force them. Just be in the flow. And when they decide to come down, they're going to be like, hey, y'all kicked ass. Y'all picked up on everything we were radiating love. You guys then jumped on board. You then helped save your planet. Then you helped transform your planet. And we're all unified as one. Well done. Well done, humanity. That, to me, is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful cosmic experience. And I live in that. I feel that now. I call forth every morning as well the awakening of all hearts so that we can experience a true unified experience on this planet. Because that's not only what this planet Gaia deserves and all of her inhabitants, but it's the human race. We deserve it. Each individual one of us deserves more and better. That's our natural instinct. We know who we are. We are loving beings.
Absolutely.
So let's truly step it up. Let's bring that. Let's turn it up. Let's bring it home. Let's keep going. We are starting to get more energies and higher frequencies than we've ever had and ever experienced in our entire existence here. And it is there. But let's just keep on focusing on our own self journey within, that everything you feel is true. As far as what's true is what resonates, what feels good. What isn't true is what feels bad, what feels nasty. You be discerning. Start talking to your body. Start sitting with your body and ask a question. And if all of a sudden, if you ask a question, you're like, am I going to ever see this person again? And you get a twitch in your arm. Come on. Be discerning. Know that's your body. It makes the answer. Don't be like, oh man, no, I was waiting for like a yes or a no. Or, it's all there. There's answers all around you. You just gotta be in that flow, be in that place of love. Don't be judgmental to yourself. Don't criticize and limit yourself. Every single one of your amazing fans, all my brothers and sisters are out there. I know that we have hit points in our ascension path that just, man, what the hell?
Yeah.
But it's those moments where are the greatest learning lessons. There's a lesson there, and then every time you will say, okay, this doesn't feel good, I don't like what's happening, but I know that I'm going to get through this, and when I'm on the other side of this, that treasure chest of beautiful, shiny little spheres of insight and knowledge and clarity and just incredible love, they start coming. Boom, you start picking them out of that treasure chest. And then one thing after another, it's like you're just in this fulfillment, like energy. You're super fulfilled. And it's nothing outside of you has to show you or tell you that you are love. You are true, pure love. That is all you are. You created the dark just so you can experience how loving you are. That is incredible. That's genius. Of course I would do that. How do you know how loving you are if you don't know how loving you are? So embrace that and keep flowing with that love. Be loving and know everything's working out. If it's not in front of you, keep focusing. Keep doing things you are always doing. And if that's not the case, if something switches in your life and you're not doing those things anymore, find something else. Maybe do it in your head. Still, music is always still a big one. You can always still connect. Music is the gateway to the soul, man. Come on. It doesn't matter
music
what it
helps
is.
a lot. Yeah, Rage Against the Machine
Big
is my
time.
music I go to when things are bad. And
Yeah. Did you say you hit Rage Against the Machine?
Whenever things get bad, it just makes me feel so good to just, I don't know, man. It's got some really good energy with that group. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, I know exactly. What happens is because you feel yucky, you end up expressing it through music. But when you express it, you play something you like. Let's Rage Against the Machine. Mine, I love Tool. I love Tool.
Right.
And when I start listening to that stuff, I am just in it. I'm jamming it. But I haven't heard it in so long because I don't listen to hard rock anymore.
Yeah.
I listen to stuff like Trevor Hall and Fat Thing and Dustin Thomas. And, really, it's the stuff that talks about being one and love and all that stuff. But I've noticed that too. I've gotten angry, and I was real angry one day. This was just about a month ago. I was like, what the hell? Why am I this mad? I am so angry. I was so angry. And I'm like, this is bullshit. I was on a ascended path, and I felt incredible, and now I feel like yuck. But it was in that moment where I was like, I deserve more love, not less. And poof, the anger was gone. As soon as I called for love. I commanded for love. I deserve it. I deserve to feel good. I deserve to feel happy. Even when you feel anger or sadness, talk it, breath in. Don't send love to it as if it affected you. Just embrace it as a loving way. You embrace, hey, let it flow. It's okay that I'm angry. I know I was angry for some reason. I got upset. Why did I get upset? Oh, is it because I was washing my dog and my dog decided to just get off the leash and run inside and track mud all in the house and got wet and stuff and all this stuff all over the house? Why am I mad? He's a dog. What's that? It doesn't matter. He's cool. He's just happy. I'm gonna get mad. No. And then it was gone. It was gone. I embraced it. And then
that's weird how you can shift your perspective like that, man. Just
real quick. And it's gonna be intense for a lot of people. Some people are gonna have setups that are really gonna shake you up. And that's a big thing that some of us actually, our lights get put down and dimmed. So we think when something happens to us spiritually that is just absolutely fearful, just really bad, sometimes some people think that they're just here on this path to, let's say, to take on the lineage of their ancestors, all the karma they did. And I want to help these people to let them know you are not here to take care of anybody else's issues. You are
and it's
here
liberating. It's a liberating thing.
It is so free. It is so free. When you start to get into the point where you're like, man, I don't know why all this stuff, I feel like this must be karma, blah, blah, blah. Wait, hold on. If you're giving it a name and you start saying what it is, well, that's what's going to happen. It's going to feel like it. But if you just had enough, you're like, I deserve to be happy. I don't deserve to have to go through this. No. Come on. We got to cut that shit. We've got to cut it because it's not doing us any good. How is we going to be on a path of ascension when you constantly feel like you're being dragged down? That doesn't balance. It doesn't make any sense. We got to really learn how to cut ties. cut those beliefs, because that's all we're doing. We're believing one thing, and it's just a choice. That is, you believing something is a choice. So let's say you don't believe in extraterrestrials, or you might think they're evil, or then if something happens to you, you get a spiritual attack. Okay, it's all right. Nothing can happen to you. It might feel anxiety, you might feel some fear, but those are things that are supposed to shake you up because you're so bright. You are on your path to ascension, and when you get so bright, you will stir up shadows in other people, and then it can also start messing with you. You know, and that's the discerning part. I physically watch, and when this will come, the high frequency loss part I was telling you, when I met people there that were doing amazing work for the community, it becomes, I seen what was going on, and it's just like, well, maybe that's just not for me, and it's all good. But as we're going along our path, just make sure that what we are seeing, choose what you want to receive. Don't take it all in and be like, oh man, well, it was this, and it was feeling, they were reflecting a beautiful thing, but then all of a sudden they were acting this way. Take the flat fact that they offered you something. This is for me, by the way, that they offered it to me, and I could have stopped right there and said, that was a beautiful reflection. My love was so powerful. My light was so powerful that they not only immediately gave me a beautiful reaction and offered me a place, because I'm trying to move. I'm actually getting ready to move. And they offered me that place, but I also was so bright and so loving that brightness, that light that I shine out to people truly shook up those little shadows in them, and they broke up and they split up 2 days later. And I didn't take the room, because I was just like, what is this? But then it made me feel like, oh my God, my light is that powerful. I wonder if I can actually heal somebody, if I can go up to somebody and give them a hug and put so much love into them, and they just feel, oh, whew. I don't know what that was, but that was incredible. I feel so good. I love touching you. I love looking in your eyes. I love being around you. That's your energy. That's your light. It will stir up shadows that are in people, but that's okay. Let those shadows come out. If something happens and a shadow comes out, play with it. Laugh with it. Embrace it. Because as soon as you get afraid of something and you allow that fear to mess with you, whew, it's lights out. And that's what I mean. That's what's happening to some of us light workers, our beautiful people out there doing amazing, amazing work.
Or they're getting so far down in that they hit these really low lows, and all I can say to that is when you can't really, look to anything bright in your future, all you can look to is the fact that everything's a roller coaster. So it won't stay that way forever. It will eventually get better. I mean, that's just how it ebbs and flows, And
everything can be perceived as, oh, I guess this is the way it's going to be. I guess this was a lie. I guess this was fake. I guess now this, but then it is that until you choose to go and do something else, until you can I've just had enough. I want and desire and choose to be better and to be happy. I deserve to have loving things come to me. And then when you start, that's your focus, that's your intention for yourself, because you got to get you right before we can truly help another. Truly. Because you cannot take on somebody else's emotions if your nervous system isn't properly aligned and good, because you will fry yourself out so quick. And then you'll think it's all their fault or something. Yeah. You want to be a service. We be a service by being loving to ourselves, draw the boundaries, and know you do not have to take on the energy unless you can. And if you can, let that be a reflection to you of how awesome you're doing on your own path. When you're willing to do everything you can to help another lovingly, not exhaustingly. You don't have to spend all your bank accounts or you do it truly from a loving place in the best way you know how. And I promise you, the universe will provide with every single thing you need to help that person or whatever you're doing. It is incredible. It is truly, truly heaven on earth. You start creating differently. You hit peaks where you're watching your manifestations happen right in front of you. You had a thought that morning, boom, it's right there that day. But then, I know that we follow your highest excitement. These are the things that will bring to you, and you have these desires, but they become normal. So if you're calling forth, since I'm calling forth all like millions of dollars, and I call forth other things, but I'm calling forth for the millions of dollars of experience giving it out, you better be prepared and prepare your energy, because if you're calling this forth with a loving intention, and when it comes, prepare your body, because it's going to, you need to be balanced. You want to match it. That's how you bring it to you. So if you're calling it forth, it happens, it'll shock the shit out of you, and it can blow you out. Because when that money dropped my account that one time, I wasn't really on my ascension path. I wasn't aware yet. But when that 50 grand dropped in my account and I was able to buy my mom a house, I remember, like, I don't know what to do. Like, I could go buy a brand new Camaro. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do anymore. I feel this overexcited, but I couldn't ground it. It was really a lot. So if I'm going to call forth millions of dollars, and if I was to do that back then, I would have just been fried. I probably would have bought a whole bunch of dumb shit.
Yeah.
Sorry for my language. But
I'm in total agreement with you. Yeah.
So it was cool because, it will be a balance. You will start to feel like, I don't even need the money because I feel it as I imagine it. When I imagine giving it away, it's going to be the exact same feeling when I give it away. And that's how you bring it to you. You match that vibration, and boom, you might go get a lottery ticket, or you might come across there, whatever. And if millions of dollars all of a sudden is in my life, you know what I'm going to say? That's the next logical thing. Yep. Mm-hmm. That's it. I'm going to be excited, don't get me wrong, but it's not going to be like, oh my God, everything is now fixed. I can now do what I want to do. No, I do what I want to do now. Right. And I do it awesomely. I'm experiencing being a human being in such a loving way.
And you can spread that love with that money, and you realize that fulfillment you would get from that is worth $1 million. You know what I mean? Yes,
because how many of us, we're so stuck on money. Money is a very powerful thing when you let it. When you let a piece of paper, you let a piece of paper control you. Not saying it's a tool. It is in our society. Mm-hmm. It is in our world, and we do use it to, experience, and but if it can be perceived as a blessing and a loving thing, and not as the root of all evil, and that it's BS and people who have millions are garbage. No, hey, that's their money. Who am I to tell them how to spend it? I know how I'm going to spend it, what I want to do, and maybe who knows, if there's anybody in this world who has experience pulling in, manifesting that millions of dollars, and going out there and just lovingly spreading that energy to all of humanity. All of humanity. I'm talking, I see visions of dropping $10 million on food trucks and feeding every single starving man, woman, and child in this world. I can see our third world country becoming a unified, and we're going to go back a notch. I could see us downgrading for a moment to become more in nature, but with third world countries, I'm seeing myself donating and building, helping communities get fresh water. Because I'll be damned if I keep going across this earth and not trying to do something to help these children who don't have clean water or food. They're starving. There's nothing. Come on. So I made it my personal path. I made it my own personal thing that I want to. I find these beautiful organizations. They come to me, really, and even the guy that's doing that he's just one of many. But they come to me, and I see and feel what's going on, and I can see what kind of help they might need. And there might not be other people, somebody that's like what's visualizing what I'm seeing and what I'm feeling. So I'm going to tune into that. And if I'm sitting here feeling like, man, I wish I could give them, $1 million so we can help him with his medical bills and help with get the proper equipment these beautiful handicapped children need. And I feel that in my heart, and I start crying, and I'm holding my heart because of how beautiful it feels just to have that thought. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to continue that. I'm going to keep calling that thought, and boom, boom, boom. I mean, I know without a shadow of a doubt that I will physically experience what I feel inside me, and I will manifest these millions of dollars and give it back out. I know I will experience it. And the coolest thing is, if I don't care, because I still experience it within myself.
Yeah. That's so true, man.
I'm telling you, brother, this has been the most incredible experience I've ever had. I thought for sure I hit heaven on earth when I was in that vortex before all this other stuff came up, before something shook up my world. I realized, oh man, I thought I was there. No, there's still some stuff, but it was the coolest stuff that I healed from. And in those moments,
seem so connected. I mean, when I think,
oh, bro,
when I see how, because for you, when did you wake up? When it was, you kind of started really waking up to this whole thing. Like, I mean, you were looking at like the conspiracies and stuff not that long ago, right? Like in 2015 or something. Okay,
yeah. Well, it was 2 years ago. It'll be April 24th, 2 years this month. So 2 years ago, I don't know what it was. I had been just on this. I wanted to find peace. I'm a disabled vet. It was wired, anxious, paranoid, and I just was on the set motion to find peace. Well, on that birthday, for the first time in my life, I said, man, I think I found peace. When we got home, they all showed up in the night sky, and it was off to the races then. But there's also a shift.
You're talking about the UFO sighting, right?
Yeah. It was for like 30 minutes we were playing with them, and I recorded it all. It was incredible. And I was like, you showed up on my birthday, which is like the number I see all the time. What the hell? I mean, come on, there's got to be more to this than you telling me that we're not alone. And then all of a sudden, a video would be on my YouTube channel that would be talking about consciousness. I'm like, okay, I'll watch that because I'll see a synchronicity of 333 or 111 or whatever, and I follow that. And there it is. It's not about we're not alone. They're just trying to show us who we are, help us, guide us to who we are. That's it. And so, extraterrestrials, it's good. I know they're there. I connect with them. I can feel them. I have moments of meditations that are incredible. But that used to be my excitement. And now my excitement isn't necessarily about bringing them down, because they can experience it from there. It don't matter. What it is I am just so in love with love. I'm so in love with love and I trust it and I surrender to it. And I can even, boom, my heart is opening just speaking it out. I love love so much that I will always fight for love with love. So if I love you and you know I love you, you better believe I'm fighting for you. And I'm going to do it respectfully and honorably, but I am fighting for you, and I always will. And that is in itself my most beautiful self-expression that I have ever said out loud and into the mirror. And I just live in that, bro. This just recently kind of happened after I just kind of said, I'm tired of going through what I'm feeling. I know how I've always felt. I know I'm connected, but how is it? I was fighting it. I was fighting these feelings in me. And as soon as I embraced it, as soon as I loved it, truly loved it unconditionally, it went away, and I reached out to my mom for the first time, and now we're having a dialogue. I have so many amazing things that are happening all around me, and I can't stop. I feel so good. I feel so in line and around. Everything is always, boom, just this loving experience. Even if it's just going to a grocery store.
Sounds like you're already living the new Earth life, you know?
I like that, and that's
In
I
many
think
respects.
that's also how we set up that experience to get into that dimension or whatever. You know, once you bring it into your world, and it is your world, how can you not experience that?
Right, because
You know
you
what I
become
mean?
a vibrational match to it, so it just automatically pulls you in, pulls the reality right along with it.
Yeah,
And when
if
you attach
somebody
it to
says
the
you-
emotions, like what you're talking about, that's
Yep.
when it's super powerful, you know?
Oh yeah, yeah. And if somebody, let's say you're living in this, and you're in this loving place, somebody comes up to you, and they start talking about politics, or they're like, did you hear it, man? There's so much evil in the world. You know what? There was this one guy. He was like, man, there's so much evil. I'm tired of it. I'm like, dude, there's no evil in my world. There's nothing but love in my world. He's like, dude, are you out of your mind? He's like, you gotta get a handgun and just walk around nowadays. I'm like, no, I sold all my guns. I was so paranoid. I had every gun in the house, it was top to bottom. And as soon as I got rid of that, then the love and everything else. As soon as I just like, I'm tired of feeling that.
Well, when was
And I made
that?
it-
That's actually what I was referring to, Kerry. You remember when you had like the guns and you were ready to take up arms and start, you know, a revolution
That
at one
was-
point when you kind of woke up
Yeah,
to
that was
the
the,
fact? Yeah.
Yeah, that was the election. That was the election. I mean,
So
we
that
were
was
on
2016 then?
the end of 2016. Yeah, and then I held on after that. After the election and Trump won, I had this inner feeling like, okay, I don't have to. Like, she's not going to be in charge, and she's not going to cause chaos, and we're not going to have to go storm the damn White House and take back our government and take back, because it is our right to do that, because it says it in the Declaration that we have not just the ability, but the obligation that if we know something is corrupt and something is wrong, we have the obligation as a human and as an independent American to change it and fix it. And that's where we have the right to walk into that White House, take that person out of office, and claim our government back. It's ours.
Grab them right by the tie.
Yeah.
Just
Well, no. We pick them up with their hand. We give them a sucker. We give them a hug. We tell them we love them. We thank them. We love them. We love you, and we let them go on with their past, and we wish you all the best.
So you got rid of your guns
side.
in 2017 then?
It would have been 2018, because it was a few months after that. It was about February. I sold everything, and that's when I started feeling like that peace. And that's when on my birthday, I said, it was 2 months later, I said, I truly think I found peace. And boy, was I barely touching what peace was. I mean, that was then, and here now, like, oh my God. So yeah, but it was about 6 or 7 months where I was down that rabbit hole of extraterrestrials. I was learning about Corey Goode and David Wilcock, and then I started finding like who it is I'm making contact with, and then I found a channeler, and then when I found that channeler, that person who channeled the Yal just kept expressing it's the moment you are this, and it's love, and it's amazing things that kept on leading me to more of me, and that was all it is. And it's only been a year and a half of just true dedication to my spiritual path. Because as soon as I became aware, I started drinking distilled water every day, 2 gallons a day, least minimum, a gallon and a half maybe. All organic food, farm to table. I found a beautiful, vegetables nonstop, fruits. I fast. I think when I started waking up, I was 285 pounds, and now I'm about 220.
Wow.
And I work out, man. I'm starting to feel cut. I feel good, and I'm not even here's the weirdest thing. It was natural. I just wanted to go run. I wanted to do this. I wanted to feel healthier, and it's just with inspiration. If I feel inspired to pick up the dumbbells that are in front of me, I'm going to knock out 100 reps. I'm going to burn myself out. And now all of a sudden I'm seeing definition. Now I'm starting to feel, but I don't even care about what I look like. I care about getting the love that my body deserves. My body deserves to experience itself too, right? So how do I become one with my body and really embody higher consciousness? Love your body. Tell your body you love it. Talk to your cells in your body. They're all conscious. They all move and work for you. This is your This, you're not the body. You're the thing that contains the body. You're the energy that contains the cells in your body. So you're holding together this body so you can experience this individual aspect. And of course, when we call it death, we just leave the body, and that's what I'm saying. The body doesn't move. You contain the body. So let's respect the body. Let's show love to that body, because if it wasn't for this body, I would not be experiencing what I'm experiencing. So I talk to my body. I talk to my heart. I talk to, if I feel a pain, I'll talk to the pain. I still feel, knee pains and stuff like that. It's not like I'm this pure, lighthouse dude that's not experiencing physical things. I did things to my body that my body is telling me, and you shouldn't have done that back then, because now you got to heal this stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So get ready for that too. When you start doing that and you really focus in on your body, and you're talking to your body's going to let you know real quick what's not good for you and what's not. When you're like, okay, take anything from this food that's good for me and absorb it, and discard anything else. And let's say you decide to eat, I don't know, a burger, and then you're throwing up 2 hours later, and you're just like, oh, I'll never eat there again. No, that's your body telling you maybe red meat's not the ideal thing. Let's try something else. Let's try chicken. And then maybe chicken might go away. And then all of a sudden you'll try fish. And then you're like, oh, fish is so much fun. I can't go fishing. I don't want to go cook a fish. And it's nothing. I'm not against anybody who eats meat. That's totally a choice. But it's just a natural thing. You know what I mean? Because they say, oh, you need meat to get protein. I'm sorry. Have you ever seen a horse? Have you ever seen a bull? They don't eat meat. They eat just grass and alfalfa, and look how awesomely strong they are. I feel it is your energy. It's the way you perceive yourself to be. If you perceive yourself to be unhealthy, you're going to be unhealthy. If you perceive yourself to love your body regardless, and it feels good to be you, man, you're going to naturally put yourself in a beautiful place. But your body is very much a part of who you are in the sense of the physical and experience of that. So let's treat our bodies better. Let's talk to our bodies. So talk, hey, what do you feel like today? What do you feel like eating? Do you want this? You want that? And that's the example with the gum. I have this little thing of gum, and every time I took a piece, I just never really liked it because it was really sugary. But that's all the gum I had. And I was like, man, is there something else other than gum? And boom, yeah, there's a cocktail. And then there you go. And it gave me a little word of encouragement along the way. So yes, everything will come and works together if you are communicating as that you are the body. You're not just the body, you're the cells, you're everything. So you can play with all of it. The water, the air, your food, clothes, your inner, it doesn't matter. People who have quote unquote hurt you and they're no longer in your life, you could still heal by going in and just talking to them as if they were right in front of you and just really get back into that. You could do it all by yourself. All by yourself. That's the craziest, coolest thing that I've learned about living out here alone and being by myself is I did it all by just getting away from the distractions and just being out here and soaking in the sun and just really wanting to experience nature and just following what naturally felt good. And then all of a sudden you become aware of it. And then just boom, 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 boom. Here you go. It's off to the races. So I've just found myself in a really cool place, a really powerful, loving place. And it's just, I wish, I know love doesn't, it feels like it describes it, but it doesn't. It just doesn't describe the fulfillment. I feel I can tune in to this loving person that I love so much in a blink of an eye. I could think of this person, and I immediately will feel my heart chakra open. And I know what I've come to learn, when my heart chakra opens, that's like the gateway to all of the cosmos. So your heart's open, you're going to shoot out this energy of love because you're thinking about them. You best believe they're going to receive it, and they're going to receive it or they're thinking of you and miss you. And then that helps you as well. Everything is here to help you, and that's Matt Kahn. Man, he's an awesome dude. He's got it. And that's the coolest thing, because I didn't know he existed, and I was trying to figure out my next steps on my path because I was watching Bentino Mazzaro of how to become more one. He has really cool, analytical, and wild ways to describe it, and can really get to people if they can understand it, but it's not for everybody. And this guy I was already experiencing a lot of oneness, but I really wanted to know more of myself, of who I am. And then when MatCon, I found that it was Christmas or close to Christmas, and we were in Portland, and we watched MatCon for the first time. We Belong to the Light, and everything he said, it was just this constant like conscience upgrade of like, oh my, yeah, it's just we're loved. It was just so, it all started connecting everything I was already trying to work out, and it just made life a lot easier when you just see it as love. Just be loving, and if you are experiencing something you don't like, love it, but also choose to know that you deserve something that reflects who you are in front of you. So make the changes that you should make, or do what you want to do, or however you've got to be to make it happen. But put those intentions out there. Notice it. Be discerning. Don't hate it. Don't put hate on something you don't like or don't like it. Just say, okay, this is what I'm dealing with right now. Okay, I got it. This is what's going on. Let me just keep focusing. And maybe I know my heart. I know what's up, because I was here. And one day I was here. The next day I'm here. Right? It's an immediate flip. But you were on your ascended path, but now it's like everything's kind of stopped. Now you're still on it. You're very much on it. You're just now having to experience something that you can learn. You got to learn something here. There's a lesson, and it could
Classes
be for some people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be just exposing and realizing fear is just a part of you, and there could be it could be anything. So
yeah,
just be kind, just be loving, practice. If you don't feel it, and I'm not gonna toot my horn, I don't want to think that you know what, you got to also understand, I don't care what other people think, because I know how I feel. And I don't mean that disrespectfully, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It doesn't matter what another person thinks. But if you don't feel it, and you're not feeling that love flow just yet, still keep going. Keep being loving, even if it doesn't, like, it resonates with, like, oh, I should tell that person they have a nice scarf. But you don't feel like saying that because you're not really feeling good. You know what's going to happen? As soon as you just say, you know what, I'm going to say it anyways, as soon as you say that's a nice scarf, and like, oh, thank you, and boom, you all of a sudden feel good for saying it. Huh, I'll be damned.
Yeah.
You just kind of surrendered to the universe right there. You just surrendered to the love, and it gave you back exactly what you put out there. That's surrendering to love, and then that will help, and I promise you, we don't have to make it about we are this and I am that. I'm a light worker. I'm a healer. I'm a this. I'm a that. You are all of it. So you're not just a healer. You're not just a teacher, or you're not just this. You are something more. You're all of it. So there is a frequency, a conscience that happens to you, an embracing of all that, where that's what it means to be in the moment. Where if you're standing in an airport, and this happened to me, I was coming back from, anyway, I was in the airport after a magical weekend, and there was 100 people, noises, but I am walking around, and I am in just tears. And I had to wear my sunglasses, and I had to call somebody just to help. But I'm like, dude, everybody I see me. And I love them. I don't know that person. That person's stuffing their face down with, brisket, and they look delicious, and it's awesome. I don't know them. I love the heck out of them. I love that guy. You eat that brisket. That brisket must be awesome. And I start supporting them. And I just was in shock and awe with how that being present, what that really means. What being present really means. And that's what happened on that mushroom journey. And it helped me see being present is really being present. Is seeing yourself in the sun, the trees, the moon, the stars, the women, the men, the cats, the dogs, the snakes, the things we don't like, spiders. A year ago, for some reason, the universe wanted to show me that to love the insects of a fly. So what I used to not like flies, man. I was on this killing path for months, but it was weird. I would kill 20 flies one day, and the next day there'd be 60. And I'm like, okay, I thought you said if we let go of that there's flies, that the flies would just naturally, if you let go of it, you just the flies won't be here. I was trying to work with my spiritual path and my in the universe. I was like, I let go. I quit killing them, but they're still here, and there's flies all the time in my house. And it would be one in my truck, and it just felt like these flies are just here to, hey, there's a lesson here. And then as soon as I was like, I start talking to flies now, and when I see a fly, and it's in my house, I'll go and say, hey, I know you're trying to get out. You're trying to get out of the window. It's not going to work. Let me help you out. Let me help you out. And I'll actually grab the fly and then go outside and I'll let it go. And I may have had 2 or 3 flies in the last year.
Wow.
I know that sounds silly. I know it's in your.
No, it doesn't. Flies. It's actually it sounds funny because I'm sitting here thinking that you found your way of dealing with it, and for me, it was just the shift in my thinking. Now I just imagine I'm sending them off to New Earth as I swat them.
You know what?
But it's still a loving switch of perspective. You know what I mean? Oh, go enjoy New Earth, little fella.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't know because, well, that's funny. That is a beautiful. It's fun. It's like, oh, and that's one thing. I was doing a thing just last week. I volunteer. I want to actually plug that real quick. I started volunteering for Veterans Off Grid, and it's a nonprofit organization. I'll get back to that. After I was in this awesome thing going on, and it really uprooted and changed. I was really kind of lost, and if it wasn't for my tribe, my family, my soul family, Allison Cole and Sandy, it just was incredible. They pushed me and said, "You got to get back to doing what you were doing. You need to do something for you. Get out there and put that energy. Find something." And I just went online and I was like, well, I found a meetups group called Hemp or Growing with Hemp, and I like hemp. Who doesn't like hemp? I thought that'd be a great start to find like-minded people. And then I contacted that lady and said, I'd love to come to your meetup. I'm a disabled veteran, blah, blah, blah. And she said, you know what? There's a place called Veterans Off Grid. So then I looked that up. I get a hold of the director, and I called him, and I told him my story about what, through my own experience in the military and what I want to establish in my life. And this guy brings me on board, puts me on his board, and I'm a part of his board of directors now. And we are building sustainable housing for veterans who are homeless, so that these homeless veterans, and they're humans too, they're not just veterans, they're humans, but they come and they live in the airships or yurts or tiny homes that we've made completely sustainable, all from the land, recycled material, you name it, it is sustainable. From the solar panels, everything. And these homeless veterans come, they'll live there, and they just only have to dedicate and commit 35 hours a month to volunteering to help the next veteran, to build a home for the next veteran. And we're out there now building. We got an airship done. We have 2 yurts done. We just got the showers and the bathrooms finished for the volunteers. The kitchen's up. We're about to put up the hoop house. And here's a beautiful one. The person who was in my life, and it's not currently, we went out there and seen the airship, and she had this insight to build an amphitheater for weddings or music or teachings, and just a lot. Man, the insight was just incredible. And I mentioned it to the director, Ryan, and building an amphitheater. And when we build that, I'm gonna inscribe, carve her name into the amphitheater. So that's your creation. You created. We might have built it, but it's there. It didn't go to waste. That thought, that imagination, that inspiration. Just because she's not in my physical life doesn't mean that those inspirations don't matter. He loved it. He loved the idea. He's like, yeah, right down there. And we found a spot, and he was like, whoa, now there's set plans to do it. So it's just moments like that of being super loving. And I thought it's a great place. If you guys want to check it out, there's a website, veteransoffgrid.org. You can check it out. We love volunteers. It's a really cool thing through the summer. It's out in Taos or Carson City, which is only about 10 minutes from Taos. Incredible views, incredible energy. If you don't know Taos, Taos is like a miniature Sedona. metaphysical shops, art shops, all this. But Sedona, it's gotten kind of corporated out and really rich. Taos is more of our style as far as all that. And it's really the place as far as like-minded folks. And that's good. And it was incredible. And so what we do, we build these bathrooms, build an outdoor kitchen, we set up a camping area, we build rock showers, and volunteers from all across the world show up during the summer and build Earthship. And we just build it. We're all doing it together. We're just having fun. We're building, communicating, connecting. You're changing the planet. And that's where I knew I belonged at home. So when I was in what I felt my darkest moment through my path, I was like, I couldn't believe how this is happening. And as soon as I listened to my family, my friend Allison, and I listened to people like that, and poof, it exploded. And then here I am now back. I'm feeling good. I feel like I'm actually now making a contribution to the planet we can build an Earthship, and you can build an Earthship for $40,000, and
wow.
All of it's recyclable, and you can live in it for the rest of your life for free.
Wow.
And it is truly, truly a beautiful artwork thing when you build an Earthship, because really the ship builds it. You can just set a design plan, but as you're going along and building it, you're using earth material too. You're using dirt and alfalfa or hay, and you're mixing water with or mud, and you're making like a cod, and it just the Earthship shapes itself, and it basically blends into the earth itself in Earthship, and it is a beautiful combination of your planet Gaia and her human inhabitants co-creating together to make this world the place that we know it should be. You know what I mean?
What's the website again for that?
veteransoffgrid.org. And we haven't got anything. We've got a couple things that need to be updated, like the newsletter, because it's been winter, and once it's winter out here, nothing's happening. You got to shut everything down, and we have meetings every 2 weeks, and so we're going to have there might be the newsletter updated, but I don't know. Contacts are still good. If you want to donate, you can.
Wait, I must have the web address, veteransoffgrid.com.
No, .org.
Oh, okay, .org. Okay.
Or just Google Veterans Off Grid. It will take you there.
Here we go.
And this guy's story, he is incredible. Ryan Timmerman, this dude, he crushed it on also being a veteran. He's experienced a lot too. And he also has what they called survivor's remorse. And he experienced being in a Humvee, and in the last second before he was going out on patrol, he was said, "Hey, get out real quick." And he got out of the Humvee to go grab something, and somebody else jumped in the Humvee and went on patrol. That Humvee got hit, and the person who was in his seat died and was killed in action. And he's held on to that. And in that process, he couldn't figure out why every time he came back home to America, he did not feel safe. But when he flew back and went to Afghanistan, he felt at home. And he knew right then something's off when I don't feel safe at my own home. And that's when he started diving into figuring out how we can help veterans. Because homeless veterans, oh man, I know I was homeless. Believe it or not. And you just don't know what else to do. I won't get into the veteran stuff, but it's just beautiful how quick he was able to understand like that. Something's off there. Now, Ryan, he's very open to holistic stuff. He goes to church and he does the Jesus stuff, and he loves all of it. He doesn't care if you're in church or if you are a shamanic healer. If there's any good that can come to that place and help this place shine and help and be a positive insight, who cares in what you believe in? Who cares in what you do? It's about the love. It comes back down to love. It's that simple. It comes back down to
Do you know if that roadside bomb incident, do you know if that happened in Fallujah?
Oh, buddy, I haven't had my TV on. I don't watch any news or anything.
No, I mean this guy that you're talking about. Where
no, yeah, I didn't go too much into.
Oh, okay, because that's how my cousin passed away that way. He had taken someone's seat in the front lead Humvee in the passenger seat, and then the person that survived had survivor's guilt and had a really rough time dealing with that. Yeah.
Yeah, it is rough. I can imagine. I can absolutely imagine how we can think of ourselves as that's my fault. To me, when he told me that story, being where I am, I immediately see, no, you were meant to live. It was his time to he took your spot because you have a higher purpose, Ryan. And look what your higher purpose is doing. He took his own money. It's his own money. And he went and bought a plot of land. And he put all the money into the Earthship and the yurt. And then he started building a nonprofit organization. And then he started getting donations coming in, you know. And it's not to its full potential. It's like at the baby steps part right now. But you can see his vision, and it is grand and it is beautiful. And you just, man, you know this is going to happen for this community. This is incredible Earthship community to help veterans, and then to do it and he allows it all in. If you know how to do some Reiki, bring it. He doesn't care. He goes to church on Sunday, he prays, and he does things, and he talks to Jesus. He might not be as like-minded as what we think ourselves to be, but you know what I did? I ended up realizing it's not about anything that, you know, if you believe it in this way and that way, we all want to help. We all want to be better in this world. And so if you are, it doesn't matter if you're awake, aware, just coming together and doing something to help the human race is just incredible. So I found my home there, and then it just started lightening up. Things started getting better, and I thank Allison and I thank Sandy and so many that have helped me along this part, because if I did not have my tribe, I'll tell you right now, man, if I didn't have you guys, like, will you help me be on a show even afterwards? And I really didn't want to do the show. I wasn't feeling anything like that. I was like, well, I keep talking about this stuff, but I feel like shit. You know, I don't.
Yeah.
And
we all have our low points. And you've been like fast track, dude. I mean, you've been like you've got some help. We all have help, but I mean, I can really see, like, you know, because when we first met, you were talking about how you were just kind of putting the guns away and stuff. So I mean, think of how far you've come. You know what I mean? And just like hardly any time at all. That was 6 months ago in Sedona. You know, I realized I was there 6 months to the day when I was there a week after the equinox on my birthday.
You full circled it for 6 months, huh?
Yeah. I got to go back and go to the vortexes and stuff, but yeah.
You didn't go did you go to Grand Canyon?
No, we didn't go to Grand Canyon this time.
You know why you didn't go to Grand Canyon? You didn't go to Grand
because
Canyon.
I knew
you didn't have my truck, and you didn't have you remember I got that awesome pass because I was a veteran.
Exactly.
And we got to drive our personal vehicle.
Exactly. We got to go back where nobody could go and stuff, man. And I was like, what? I'm going to go back to the normal one with everybody else, all the tourists? No way, man. I got spoiled. There's no way I'm going back now.
People that were driving by us that were in all those little tour buses, they're looking at us like, they better, how did they do that? You know, and it was great. That was so much fun.
That was cool, man. Yeah, I knew not to go and waste my time again. So.
Yeah, but I wanted to go back to Sedona, you know, and what's really been happening recently. Well, no, I've been calling it out. Actually, I've been noticing it for a while. And I was like, man, I think it's getting time I'm ready to move. And then I go through a phase where maybe my landlord is being a weird guy, so I just feel like, well, I'm moving. But the intentions, like, for moving with that energy, you don't want to leave. What I used to do is if I felt like I'm being screwed, I jump ship and I'm out of there. I'm not doing it. But that leaves a residue with you to move on. You're still like moving on because you're running away from something. It's not like that. So I set with it. I've still been here. I felt like I've been needing to move, but something was still there, not right. All of a sudden, he started kind of coming more towards his senses and being cooler and real. I drew boundaries. I said, I'm not paying this. I'm not doing that. And I love you and I appreciate you, but I'm not doing it anymore. You're not going to have me do this. And then it just like went away. And he's just been really cool. Now he's trying to fix the roof to keep me to stay. And that felt good. I'm like, oh, I guess I could stay here. And then it's like, no. Hey, this is it. And that's the part where the universe is working with you. You wanted to leave on a good note, on a high note. So then the universe, your high conscious love, starts working through that to help that experience for you and to allow it to, when the time is right, it's going to happen. It's going to be perfect. And now I feel like I'm almost on standby. I literally feel like I'm on standby for this, like a move. I'm even saying goodbye to the land and how much I appreciate. And I don't have a place. I haven't been looking anywhere. I keep thinking for a while. I was like, where could I move? I don't really want to move to Taos because I love Taos. Taos is fun and all. But that's just now. I'm in Portland. I was like, I love Portland, but no. Yeah, God, come on. And I'm not going to give out where I feel like I want to go because I'm still sitting with it. But it finally it started coming to me, and I'm like, whoa, okay. It's like, well, let's see what happens. And so now things are just kind of flowing, and I feel like it's on standby. It was really cool how I know it's about to do that, how I know this, and it was confirmed not only from my feelings, but last week I went to go take my truck into the shop to get my oil changed and my differentials cleaned out because it was at the full drive 3/4 ton. It just takes the heat, and it's brutal. So I got it all cleaned out, and I was just like, man, I've been having issues with these huge tires I just bought, and I was thinking I should probably take my back passenger tire and rotate it to my driver's side front. And so I just mentioned it to him. I said, hey, do you mind taking the back right tire off and putting it up in the front? Yeah, we'll take care of it. And then as I'm standing in the lobby, I'm looking at all these brand new awesome tires, and I've been buying used tires nonstop. And I've been looking at all these brand new ones, and they're like $1,200, $1,300, $1,600. I'm like, dude, I guess it's just going to be used tires all the time. And if anybody drives a 3/4 ton truck, a Dodge, or any kind of big, huge truck, those trucks do not like used tires. It just doesn't work. It's just full vibrations, wobbles, you name it. So that's all I've been feeling. And I was like, man, I really would love new tires. One day, maybe one day, whatever. And then he comes in, he's like, Mr. Dowding, you might want to come see this. And I go out there, and he shows me there's a bubble on the sidewall of this tire, and the tire is about to blow. And I'm like, oh, man. I was like, do you have a used size that? And he's like, no, man, but what I do have is I have a brand new set that has 2 miles on it. Somebody came in here with a Denali, bought the same size tires, and when you buy tires for a dually or a 3/4 ton, they're 7, 8, 10, 11 ply. They're real stiff tires. They're meant for heavy-duty tires. Well, he puts it on his Denali, goes 2 miles up the road, comes back, says he doesn't want them, and now those $1,200 tires have to be priced at $700. And I was like, well, I don't have $700. I just got $400. He's like, oh, man, we have credit, and you don't do a credit check. And right then, I got brand new tires put on my truck.
Oh, wow.
And I called Sandy up, and I said, Sandy, I don't know what the hell's going on, but it feels like I'm about to be traveling for some reason. I don't know. It's just everything feels like I'm about to be just on the road again, doing something. And then all this other stuff starts happening. And I thought, wow, this is being aware of your experience and seeing the connections of everything happening for you because it's by you, and you are making your experience the grandest experience ever. And my grandest experience, you ready for what my grandest one, my ultimate feeling of what I want to experience, of who I've naturally always been? I wanted to experience a true romantic experience. I was a sucker for romantic movies, hopeless romantic movies, all of my life. I've loved all those movies. I love them. Some people might think they're cheesy. Bring it on. I want to cry. I want to see somebody fight for love. So that's what I would do. And if sure shit enough, if I'm not experiencing that, I'm experiencing that right now, and I am living in that moment right now, and it feels incredible. It may not, there's nothing in front of me. She's not there, but I know I'm fighting for love. I know what I'm going after, and why I seek that, because it's me. It's the beauty in me. So I know it's going to happen. It doesn't matter who they're with. It's just how it's going to fold out. I feel like I know who it's going to be with, but that's beside the point.
Well, have you been vlogging any of this, Carrie, on your channel?
No, dude. I haven't been on my... Oh, my God. No. You watched Allison's videos. She said there's been like a thing where so many people who made videos, they just have gone quiet. They went hermit. They don't want to... That's what happened to me. I was really in the flow, and it wasn't until this whole self-care thing and just turning off everything and just, I feel like I want to start making videos again, and that just started coming to me this week. So I'll actually be starting recording a video. Probably do my first one next week, but I say next week, but I also feel there's about April has always been an incredible month for me. A lot of stuff, incredible stuff happens in the month of April for me. It's every day, but I don't know what it is about April. From the extraterrestrials showing up on my birthday, and then the next month to having my conscious expanded, and now where I'm at now, I can only imagine what my birthday is going to be like this year. And now I'm like, screw it. I'm not going to just celebrate the day. I'm going to celebrate the entire month. So every day is my birthday. Every day is a holiday. But for some reason in April, because I'm a Taurus and all this other stuff, it's just, I don't know, man. It's something happens
awesome,
in
man.
April where it's cool. It's fun. It really is. So I'm just really excited. I feel something I'm really on this point where something is incredibly happening. And I am just, like I said, I feel like I'm on a standby for some reason. It's not pressure. I don't feel out of balance. I'm not on edge. I'm not like, okay, I'm ready. It's like, all right, I feel that. I know whatever, when it's time, it's going to be, and something's going to happen where it's just, I'm going to be gone. And so if I don't make a video next week, I'm going to start making videos, but I want to slow this out and then come back and record, because it's a lot.
What's your channel again? Awakened and...
Awakening Within. You got to be careful because there's apparently a bunch of those. But if you just put Awakening Within and then my first and last name, you'll see your video that you did with me.
Oh,
and then I believe underneath that, you'll see where you can subscribe to me. But yeah, I'm going to start kicking those things out, because I even had used my own video to get me back in. I'm like, man, that's some funny stuff when you don't feel so good, but that's how you know what you were doing back then, and you might not feel it now, but if you can watch a video that you put out and it brings you back, you're like, oh yeah, what am I doing? You know, that's your past self helping your future self. And
just like it's happening all the time, really, right? With our higher self.
That's right. That's exactly right. It is a beautiful thing. It is that simple. It is really that simple. It is the hardest thing you'll ever do, because you have to literally break down and reprogram who you think you are, who you think you might be. But as soon as you do that, if you just really surrender, just really let it go and have full trust and faith in everything that you feel in your heart. Truly do it. Don't question it. Don't worry about the answers. They will come. Don't need to know it all. If you know you're the one infinite creator, why do you have to have all answers now? You don't.
Right.
Just let it flow. Be cool. Flow with it.
Try to stay
and
out of the way.
Everything will come to life. That's right.
Sometimes we just left brain it so much we take twice as long to get where we need to go, because we're over analyzing it instead of just going by the intuition and all that. So, hey, I want to talk to you about leaving that area before you get out. I don't know if you saw it, but Monday we did a show. I want to say this was like 3 Mondays ago. The guy's name was Kevin Estrella, and he channels like music from the higher realms, but he's in contact with some ETs that are extraterrestrials that live in the mountains in Albuquerque or something.
Yeah.
And they got a Twitter account. Do you already know about them?
If you're talking to, you're not talking about, are you talking about like the Native American tribe?
No, these are actually ETs. They're not originally from Earth. I want to say that website is, It's the
are you
links
sure
are,
they're in the Albuquerque area, or are you just saying, are they in like out in the kind of desolate like parts of Albuquerque?
Well, they said they had a specific mountain that's east of Albuquerque, so I'm not sure how far it is, or it's probably visible from Albuquerque.
Okay, I think. All right, I know what
if
you're talking
Sherry's in the
about,
thing, she can tell us what the name of that mountain is, probably, maybe, or somebody else.
I don't know if I know. I don't know if I know about those extraterrestrials there or the ETs there, but I do know that you have Gallup, New Mexico, which is just we're probably in that vicinity where you're talking about, just on the west, or so maybe it's the west side of Albuquerque as you're going west towards Sedona. There's Gallup. Gallup is where the Sunni tribe is, the Sunni Pueblo, and Sunni Pueblos are known for their Kachinas. Kachinas are sky people, and they're very, they make contact, and the Sunnis are very closed off to the outside. So you cannot just go onto their land. They do not open it to the public at all, especially when they do their ceremonies. Because I imagine people show up, the sky people, the Kachinas, whatever you want to talk to. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if there's actual extraterrestrials out there in those mountains. It's incredible. Don't surprise me at all.
Yeah,
Where at? Like that, I mean, when you said Albuquerque, I'm like, are you sure you're wanting the extraterrestrials living in Albuquerque? Because I remember I moved because of the gunshot. So I was kind of confused. Like, are they living in an apartment complex on 58th Street or what? But yeah,
it's at east of Albuquerque in the. I want to say it's official first contact dot. Let me double check this.
Is it the Sandia Mountains? The
Sandia Mountains. That's right. It's the Sandia. Yeah, that's definitely
it.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, they got them a good place. I've been up on that mountain. Oh my God. And you
really?
Get up on
So
top of that and you look.
If you go to that officialfirstcontact.com, I believe the web address. Let me look at it because I don't want to tell you guys wrong. Officialfirstcontact.com. If you go there, there's this really neat, and I'm going to be doing a video on this anyway and reading through it because it's kind of like in a PowerPoint presentation style thing, but I thought it'd be cool to, if somebody wants to put it on and just listen to it while they're doing other things, art or whatever. I was going to make a quick video on it, but it's Telepathy 101, and this takes us full circle back to how you brought up telepathy again, but, then I'm seeing this connection with these extraterrestrials that are trying to teach the telepathy, being in that area that you're in, and how you've been dealing with it, and how you see them all the time. It could be the same people. I mean, this is how this synchronicity works sometimes, you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. And I don't think for a minute that, I do know when I asked to connect with my galactic family, the Yal, I know the difference as far as what I'm connecting with, because one craft can be something different than something else that you see, and I absolutely can feel that I'm picking, if I'm sending that stuff up, and I know if they're picking it up, then those beings are definitely picking it up. I've had so many experiences. It's become normal now. It's like almost like when I get out of the vehicle and I see one, I'm like, hey, what's up, guys? All right, we gotta go inside.
Family.
So that's cool.
Family saying hello.
Yeah.
It's cool.
That probably is why I wanted, the number two reason I'd say, but it was on my top 10 list of why I wanted to move to Albuquerque. I know I'm going to see a UFO out here, and I remember like a guy's like, man, you're not, that stuff's down there in Roswell or whatever. And every night I was like, man, I know I want to see it. There's got to be something out here, man. You don't have that many types of sightings and evidence and all this stuff. And then my whole path kept leading me northern New Mexico. So I started in Albuquerque, and then I ended up going out into this small town outside of Las Vegas. It's called Rivera. Beautiful place, but it just didn't work. I was at compound I was at for the big storm in the all of us, Marines, Army, you name it. We were gunned up and armed up, ready to go. It was a huge compound. But I don't know, by the grace of the universe, it just, nope, you don't need to be here anymore. And it kicked me out, and I ended up out here in this beautiful spot, out in this random place. I had no idea what I'm doing here, who the people are, and it has changed my life. It is this place. I can see why the energies here are incredible. For extraterrestrials living Sandias, yeah, I see that. The energy, man, oh my God, New Mexico is incredible. The energy is so amazing.
What year were you born?
It is. 85.
85. Okay.
So I'm about to turn 34. The book's 34 on the 24th.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
That's really
It
amazing,
has been
dude.
something.
It's a ride, dude, and I always feel pumped up, and I feel wonderful energy when I talk to you and stuff, man, and it's cool. That's what we should be like that for everybody, you know.
Yeah, and there's something that I would love to do, and I haven't done this, and it came to me. I did a meditation just before I jumped on here. I really needed to calm down. I was really excited, and when I'm really excited, and I've noticed this, when I'm really excited, you know, Matt Kahn talks about it in his book, but he's like, your nervous system really gets overstimulated, and so sometimes we find people who want to talk over you, and you could be telling a story, and then they're just, oh yeah, no, you know, I do it. They'll just want to, they want to express what they're going through too. They want you to know their story, but that's okay. What you end up coming to know is to calm that down, is you learn that it's about listening. If you can just show compassion and be listening, and even if your opportunity, you don't get to say anything, who cares? You know who you are. You know what you're doing. You know what's up. Who cares if they talk over you? It don't matter. Right. But you can be discerning, and you can hold space for them, just listen to them, and be listening in kind, and let them talk. So I've been learning how to balance that, because at the beginning of this, at my whole awakening, I had to tell everybody. I didn't let them get a word out, because no, that's not it. No, you got to do it this way. You got to, and people don't like that. It's just, they get defensive. It doesn't work. But if you just naturally just show love, be who you feel you are, you don't have to say a single word to anybody, and they're going to come up to you and say, what the heck did you do, and what are you doing?
Right.
So I want to know what your secret is. And that's how you become the master, I believe.
I love it, man.
Cool thing, man.
That's
but
so
this is what I
true.
wanted to try before we get off here, and we got so many incredible people listening in. I love all of you, by the way. Everyone, fucking love you. Sorry for my language, but I will use that word in the greatest way that I know to use it. You know, it's not a bad word. There's no such thing as a bad word.
It's late enough. It's cool.
Yeah, I would love to truly, all of us take maybe, I don't know, 3 to 5 minutes, maybe not even that, and we'll just take some time to maybe do a little quick meditation, a guided meditation. It's not even 5, it's 3 minutes, I think it is, but it really just
like we did that on the rock. You led the meditation on the rock that night. That was
That's
great.
Exactly the one.
Yeah, man. This is a great group. We got almost 50 people in here, so let's do it, man.
What a group concept. And it's been proven, when there is this is in Conversations with God, I quote, and when 2 or more are gathered in my name, I am. So when you have a group collective conscience, it's going to bring in some amazing things. Yeah. So I would love to do that, and
I would love for you to do that, man. And we got time, so let's do it.
Okay. Well, I noticed you're asking questions. Is there anybody that has any? That's what I wanted to know first.
No, I think I kept up with them pretty good. Everybody enjoyed your energy and everything. Everything was great, man.
Okay. I love all of you guys. I want you to know that if there's anything that resonated with you, take that, use that. Anything that didn't resonate with you, ask it why it doesn't. Figure it out. It doesn't matter. This is how we play the game. This is how we play. It's just a game. It's for fun. We didn't come here to hurt. We came here to feel the hurt, but we came here to be liberated. We came here to experience love. We came here to experience who we truly are. So lighten up. Simplify yourself. Simplify life. Make it easier. Stop doing stuff and be who you know yourself to be. And I love every single one of you. Thank you for all of you. Let's enjoy this meditation. All right. Everybody, if you guys, can you hear me, Shane? Am I good?
Yeah, you're great.
Okay, buddy. Here we go. All you loving beings. Let's just take a moment, center ourselves. Let's get a little quiet. Close our eyes. If you have a smile on your face, keep it smiling. I know mine is. And just kind of calm down. Let's take some deep breaths. Inhale through your nose. Breathe that in. That's you. Breathing in. Just let that out. With every out breath, imagine your worries, your stresses, anything that doesn't resonate with you, flowing into the ground, being absorbed into the earth. And with the next out breath, focus in on your heart. And imagine from your heart, a silver line begins to travel down your body, going down through your legs, down through your feet, into the building that you're in, and into the ground. And deeper, going through all the layers of Gaia. She's beautiful, every inch of her. And as you're going effortlessly through all the layers, you come to the center part of the planet, the heart, the being of Gaia. And in any way that this comes to you, it is perfect. However this looks, however it feels, it is perfect. And you are warmly welcome here. Strongly welcome. And see yourself connecting with her. Hugging her. Like, I love you. I love you. When you feel like you've made that connection, imagine that earth core beautiful energy going back up your silver line, effortlessly, going through all the layers till it reaches your house and it reaches into your feet. And as it moves up your feet and up to your knees, along the way, every cell of your body is beginning to resonate with the earth core frequency. You can feel every cell begin to harmonize with her as it moves from your knees up to your hips, your lower back, your lower belly, up the spine and into the torso. And with the next deep breath in, imagine that earth core energy filling up your heart completely. And if you want, go on a second journey. This time, we're going to go up from your heart through your throat. Imagine that silver line shooting out your crown, through the building, and into the sky. You could see your house getting smaller and smaller. You're shooting up through the clouds, ozone layer, and into the universe. And as you notice, you're flying effortlessly amongst all the stars and the planets. Some of you might pick up a certain planet, say hello, in your love. So you hit the center part of their solar system. So you hit the beautiful, gorgeous sun. And here too, you are welcome. As you travel into the sun, you hit the center part. Connect in any way you feel and how you see it. You are welcome here. You are loved. You tell the sun we love it. We love you. We thank you for your beautiful sunny days and even the days that are cloudy. We still love you. We love you and we thank you. And you feel you have made that beautiful connection. Imagine that solar energy traveling back through your line, across the universe. So fast, so easy, simple. See, coming back to this beautiful blue marble that we live on. You come back to the country that you're in, the state that you're in, and see you back to the house. And then you feel this loving, beautiful solar energy from slightly going down your forehead, down past your eyebrows, your ears, your nose, your cheeks, your mouth, back of your neck, across the chest, and in between the shoulder blades. And with the next deep breath in, imagine that solar energy connecting and filling up and merging with the earth core frequency in a never-ending golden spiral. And in this place, this is where heaven meets earth within you. This is the doorway to the universe, the door through which we all speak and feel and connect. And as I ask you to take your left hand and cover your heart, and you feel that in you, you feel who you are. And you tell yourself you love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you again. Namaste, everybody. Thank you for listening. I love you all. You guys are incredible. Thank you.
This is an exciting ride, and I'm glad we're all here together doing it, man.
What a blessing, man. I love you guys, truly.
Hey, on ECETI, are you going for the July 4th thing? You think you'll be able to make it out in August?
Did you just ask me if I'm going out to ECETI on July 4th when I sent you the text to say, hey, July 4th, ECETI? You said you're not going. You said you're doing it in August. I'm going July 4th, my friend. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we're meeting in August, but I didn't. You're going to the big event, right?
Oh, the big one. Yeah, I'm gonna go.
That's gonna be fun.
Corey Good's gonna be there. You know what? This is gonna be the coolest thing because Corey Good's gonna be there, and I don't know if you guys watched Above Majestic, the most recent documentary they put out.
Yeah.
It's on. Okay,
Jordan Sather's going to be there too, isn't he? I think it's going to be Corey Good, Jordan Sather, of course. Allison Coe is going to be there, and then the Edge of Wonder guys.
I'm there to support Allison. But after I watched Above Majestic, I have one question for Corey Good that I don't think anybody else caught during that documentary.
What was it?
You guys have to. Okay, so I gotta remember the timestamp. I think it's. Is it 33:16? 33 minutes and 16 minutes in, it happened. 33 minutes 16 seconds into that documentary. So you might want to go to like 33 minutes and 10 seconds when William Tompkins is talking about, he's like, and Bill, he's talking. You pay attention to 33:16 around those seconds, you'll hear him rip the loudest fart ever, and they cut the end of it. And then, they cut the end of the fart, but then they come back to him, and he has, a smirk on his face, but he's trying to keep a steady face. And I'm like, wait, what was that? What was that? And I rewinded it, and kept listening, and turned up the speakers. And this dude rips, wah, 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 wah. It was crazy. So my question to Corey Good would be, do you guys know y'all recorded, this awesome fart on this documentary of disclosure? I kind of... Yeah, it was. Of course, I would find, out of all of the stuff, I'm finding the humor in this documentary. So it was pretty funny. I figured I'd ask him that question, and of course, I'm going to go there to support Allison and ask the questions. I'm going to just keep asking questions because that's what it's about. The point of asking questions isn't because I already know the answer or I want to know the answer. I just want people to know that it's okay that they can stand up and ask a question that. Some people think questions are stupid, and that's all I like to do.
Wait, you're not going to stand up and ask that question in front of everybody to...
Oh, are you talking about the fart question? You dang right I'm going to stand up and ask it. Yeah, I'm going to call that out because that is funny.
Please record that for me, man. Please,
I want to know if he... Because he did the editing. It was a small budget thing. It kind of did the editing and stuff. But they did incredible. David Wilcock has a lot of good, outings to do good documentaries, but... Yeah. The editing is they had to have heard that too. But if they didn't, and I'm the one that can say, did y'all know, you guys? I mean, he rips it, and he even is smart because he's real straight faced when he does it. But you're not watching him because it goes to a animated thing of a ship, and you just hear this loud fart, and it cuts off it's just like a split second cut off, like they try to cut off because the information he was putting out right then was important, so they didn't cut out the information or the fart, but you go back to him, he's like has this smirk, and it's great, man, it really is.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
I plan on standing up and asking what that's all of it, just if anybody knows, just to get some chuckles out, just to get some laughs. Because we really don't have to take that documentary serious. We really don't. I think that's what came to me in that point, because when you watch that documentary, if you're the first time you've ever watched something like that, it can be a bit like, man, holy crap. Like they go into all that cabal stuff, what they do with the babies and all that, and you're just like, man, what the heck? All of a sudden, it comes to me, it's like, we still, to dissolve from that, you don't even see that there's a cabal out there. There's nobody having a power over how you're experiencing the experience.
Yeah,
so
it's about moving away from the victim mentality, But that's a rung on the ladder that we all had to go through,
Yeah, that documentary, they want you to know these things. It's good to be aware. It's good. It's good to get disclosure out there. But we don't need to say it like they have control. No, they don't. They don't have control over me. I'm sorry. There's not one single being, entity, anything in this world that has any control over me. It's like, well, don't you get money and don't you go buy things? I do it consciously. I draw that money to me, and I go buy things that I choose to desire because I know that money comes to me because I know I deserve it and it's mine. And I'm going to go buy something that I deserve. Nobody has control over me on that. They might make money off it, but if it's something I enjoy, good for them. And there's a way you dissolve that agenda that you think that they have over us, because it's all within us. There might, of course, we do see, obviously, there is something, but when you start with your inner world, everything else around you, all that we thought we knew and power over this, it all starts to go away. It's pretty neat. But yeah, that documentary could be overpowering, and it was especially the part they were talking about the sacrificing of children and stuff. You're like, man, what? And then
it's a huge red pill for people.
Oh, I'm so glad this came to me. Oh, I forgot. I'm so glad, because I'm going through my own experience. I'm helping somebody that I love very much, and they're going through a very spiritual thing. Some dark things happen, experiences, and I remember even as a little kid, I'll come back to this. As a kid, when they taught us in the church about the devil, that if you don't get saved, you'll go to hell and you'll burn in hell. Right. And my grandmother never went to church. And my grandmother is this beautiful, loving, awesome, incredible earth angel, right? She's never gone to church. And yet I started thinking at like 10 years old, I said, if there was ever what they say, a goat man with a pitchfork decided to hurt my grandmother, I would kick its ass. But how could I feel that at 10? And I just right then. So when I could feel that I could kick that thing's ass, I knew something was up. That didn't have any power at all. I would kick its ass in a heartbeat. If you touch my Grammy, I swear. You know what I mean?
Oh, so,
yeah. I try to, when I go into these things and what I've learned about dealing with negative polarity, negative beings, because you are bright, you are shiny, and they don't like it. That's the whole point of the negative polarity. When you're so bright, they'll do anything they can to, if they can, to get to you. But, and I've watched this happen to very close people to me, they would go through this thing. When you're experiencing a spiritual thing, you're going to extract different things, and you got to learn how to be discerning, clear energy, protect yourself, not, if you feel fear, not to dive into it and let it completely control you, or take over your life. It's truly just, it's simple as just loving that being. Because as soon as you love it, it goes away. It's like, oh, it doesn't want to be there. So what I've been doing, helping this person, is I go into a meditation late at night, and I imagine jumping in. I'm there in that house, and I can see that there were some negative beings there. But I'm like, hey, because there's like this Illuminati cabal thing. They use like pentagrams and goat heads, and I'm like, hey, I'm going goat. And I imagine this in my meditation, that I'm sitting there with this beloved goddess, and I can see all these negative shadows around trying to mess with her. And I look at him, and I'm like, hey, you come here, show me your collection of goat heads, bro. I love you. Come here. Come sit down next to me. I want to see all your pictograms. Let me show you the upside down star that everybody thinks is so bad. It's just a damn upside down star. Come on. And then the goat head. When I started saying that, I was like, where are these cool goat heads you guys use? I want to see one. I want to collect them. And all of a sudden, boosh, there was nothing there, and it was just light. It was just pure love, light everywhere. And it's like that. It's that. You don't be afraid. You are love. Your natural instinct and who you are is love. You created what you're not to experience who you are. So that means you can create and get rid of. They don't have control of you unless you let them. Unless that is it. But they
only have the power you give them. Yeah.
There. That's beautiful. If you just love them, that does mean love them. That's not inviting them into your house for coffee or anything like that. But if you feel fear, if something sparks in you, anxiety, fear, immediately, just be like, oh, I feel you. What are you doing? I love you. Come here. And then it's just, whoop, there you go. There it is.
Yeah. I did want to let everybody clarify things in the chat or whatever. We're still doing the thing in August. It's going to be the first or the second weekend in August. They're right up to that date on their calendar right now. So since they wanted to get all the conferences booked first, since it's a little bit harder to line up people's schedule before they started doing the Star Watch weekend. So yeah, there is a big July 4th event at ECETI, which is a conference, but we wanted something more laid back. You didn't have to go and listen to a speaker or anything. It's just more laid back and hanging out, looking, Skywatch weekend. So it's going to be a completely different thing and cheaper too. But if you do want to see it, there is a lot of great guests there that weekend, and hopefully Carrie can make it out a month later too. You never know.
Hey man, dude. I do everything that I desire, and nothing stops me. So yeah, that could absolutely happen. I know, come July, that's going to be an incredible experience. And this is not any kind of ego part about me, but when I tell you that making contact has become normal, going to ECETI, what I want to experience is I want to walk out and be completely like by myself in the dark and experience contact, because that to me is how I can experience who I am. Because I'm not going to be fearful of anything. I don't want that experience. I see so many night flashes and stuff what they record, so it's kind of, I've been there, done that, ready for something new, ready for some real experience. And from what I hear and what I've seen on his videos, oh man, from Sasquatches to there's stuff that comes into that vicinity. But I love being in a group, but I really want to experience myself and just being out there in the dark alone and seeing what comes in and just embracing it and just seeing it for all the beauty it is. So that's going to be cool, man. I would love to be out there again. But I've never done it. I've watched so many videos. I thought it was incredible. Allison got a slot, and she's going to be, or she got asked to speak. I mean,
I know,
shit,
that's so awesome.
I got to follow that girl. But this is the chick that. This is the divine feminine. Sorry, this beautiful woman. But she was the lady that I immediately was when I started realizing what consciousness was. I seen Allison Coe come across my YouTube page, and then I was like, wow, man, for some reason it feels like I know this person. I don't know why, but I don't even know her, but I feel like I know her. And I set up in a session. Funniest thing is watching in one of her videos, the client that she had was also a hypnosis practitioner, and I resonated with that woman there, that divine feminine then, and man, did that not come around full circle. So I knew something was there, and all of a sudden, Allison Cole, and she's a part of my soul tribe, and I just love that. And so of course you're going to support her, but
definitely,
I don't know if you knew. Did you know you have to actually what do you call it? You have to reserve camping spots or something like that. I didn't know that. Did you know that?
Yeah, I believe so. I think you do for the event, but I don't think you know, I think if people wait or whatever, I think there's plenty for the amount of people we got there. But they're probably going to bring in a boatload of people for that event. But it shouldn't be, you know, I think out of our group, we might have 50 or 100 or something. Like, I don't know. I'm imagining somewhere, because the other meetups have been about 24 or, I don't know, a couple dozen people. So I can imagine that easily double, because a lot of people are coming to this one that haven't gone to the other ones. Plus the people that have gone to the other ones will be there. So I imagine it could be 50 or 100 different people, and then it's not going to be reserved just for us only. Anybody can be there, but so there might be a few other people as well, but like-minded people. Yeah. So I say the more the merrier, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you now remember, we when we get around like-minded people, not everybody's going to resonate and be on your level, and so let's try to be discerning and open to other people's experiences, because if one person is just, what the hell, you know, just be cool with it, man, because those are special experiences. Like out there at the Rock in Sedona, that was meant for all of us. That was a special moment for all of us. That and how special that was. That beautiful soul, that beautiful angel, Sandy. Oh man, she took that moment, channeled it into a painting, and crushed it. It was. I know.
I'm looking at it right now. It's so beautiful.
I have it on my dresser, and every morning after I do my mantras and my poems and my I thank everybody, because I have all these cool things, stuff from Alice and Lauren and you and I mean, we just our tribe bands that I got us in Grant. I say thank you to all of you, all of this, and it's all right there, because it's like, wow, this is incredible. And she did a really great job there. And so when those moments happen, you don't have to take them lightly. Those are special moments. Be aware that this is cool. Try to not have expectations. Go in with a great intention that you just want to experience something. Don't know what that is. I don't know what it is, but whatever, I want to try to experience something awesome and see it for myself. And make that a moment in your life where it's just a real incredible thing, a milestone if you want. I think that is just a very important for all of us when we're in those groups doing contact. Some people might be in fear. Some people might be having different intentions. If everybody was just, hey, no expectation, no big deal, and you're gonna see something out there, especially out there.
Oh yeah, man, I'm excited, dude. All right, man. Well, sorry. Go ahead.
What's up? I was just going to mention about E-City is the coolest thing I thought is the pictures that they take of the multidimensional beings. Like they've had these pictures that they take with a camera that would have like Mary Magdalene or somebody or Nithyananda, one of the like old guru or somebody that are Ascended Masters and stuff like that. Like you could see their shape. I'm like, wow, this isn't just extraterrestrials like in the sky. It's on the mountain. It's Sasquatches. It is multidimensional beings. You see the orb. It's the playground, I feel, for all of everything that you want to, you think is not true. Whatever. It's beautiful. And I thought at first it was just contact or you're seeing UFOs, but no, this is way deeper than that. It goes beyond that.
Yeah, man. It's a special place.
Man. So I appreciate you having me on the show, brother. You are something else, Shane. You're doing amazing work. You're meant to be a messenger the way you are, and you're crushing it. So many people are following you. They love you. We care about you. If it wasn't for souls and amazing angels like yourself who followed what they felt, we wouldn't have amazing people in the world that followed what they felt. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for following your inner guidance. Thank you for creating this channel. Thank you for following your heart, going to Sedona and becoming one of my closest friends and a part of my tribe. I love you. I love all of you. I love you, Sandy. I love you, Allison and Colleen, Lauren, Dan, Teresa, all of you guys. I love you, and thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I love you guys, too. I love you guys in the chat. Thanks for being here and hanging out with us tonight. And, we'll have Carrie back soon. So I always love having you on, man. It's always a big boost to my spirit, and I love everything you're doing, and lots of love to you, too, brother.
So from here, last thing, as we get off the phone, as we get off this show, everybody, if you can, if you feel like it, you ought to radiate any type of that. Go shine your light. Go put the light and the love that we are putting in this conversation is out there with you. We did a meditation. We are all I feel great, of course.
Yeah.
I feel even better. That let's go share that with somebody. Do something, draw something, play a guitar, go touch the ground, go grab a flower, go hug a tree, shine that light, tell somebody, smile at somebody, just share that light, just share it, because it is beautiful and everybody deserves to feel it, and powerful, and everybody deserves to feel that. So go out there and be that shining star, and I promise you, everything's going to come to you the way you desire. May all of you have a beautiful journey, and all your heart's joys and desires come true. Love you.
I appreciate you, Gary. Have a good one, you guys. If you'd like to support the work I do, go to paypal.me/UOTF. Thanks.